And main scene. Hello, everyone. Welcome to kind of not an RNG podcast episode because this is a little different thing I'm doing now, at least for a monthly update of video games that we're playing. Because it is a video game show, and I feel like people should talk about video games even more. And joining me tonight will be my two friends. First, I will introduce the brother from up north, Mr. Creamnado. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I get the bully extra zero. That's my favorite pastime. Now that Mazza is MIA due to his reconstruction surgery of his derriere, I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to talk about games.
Awesome. And I definitely am too. And of course, joining me is the East Coast brethren himself, Mr. Extra Zero. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me on. I always love these hangouts, and except when I get reamed by Cream.
Why do you sound so tired? Are you all right? You
I
sound
went
depressed. Like, yeah, I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, I didn't bring the energy. Now I've been doing endurance training, and so I've been zapped. I was telling Lethal about that. Lethal said the other day, he's like, "Dad, you sound like you're dying," and I was like, "A little bit."
He's chasing around his dogs in the backyard, and that's tiring. All right, he goes out there.
And he's a geriatric.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like
he just turned 40. That's the problem, you know.
Old man.
It's like the gayest thing. Like I'll tell the people. I'm doing basically the Saitama workout where every day I do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and I do about 6 miles worth of cardio.
Oh, nice.
In addition,
Goggins.
yeah, well, it gets gayer. The whole reason I want to do it is not just because I want to get healthy. It's because I want to have I want to get out of like a couple cosplays while I still have time. So I like
that's pretty gay.
That is really gay.
That is really gay.
That is like Liberace levels of gay. All right.
Hey, at least I'm being honest.
Yeah.
No, it's perfectly fine.
You're taking it from behind the candelabra. That's what's going on.
You got to fulfill some people's fanfics with going out with Saitama. That's what you got to do, right?
Basically, I mean, I'm like in the weirdest shape, man. Because I used to lift. I used to lift a lot. Like in 2012, I went to like this boot camp CrossFit gym, and it was like a little independent one, and it was hard. And I used to carb load, and back in 2012, I was still in my 20s, and now it's like I do carnivore and I do OMAD. OMAD means 1 meal a day, and I get like I did the math on like my carb intake. It's like 3 grams of carbs, if that, and that comes from like dairy products. Because I don't do like the lion diet stuff. So, but I have like I mean, like in ketosis all the fucking time. I've got a 30-inch waist right now, but I weigh 195 pounds. It's the weirdest thing. I've never been like this. So
awesome. Well, hey, listen, it's better to get in shape at some point in your life than never.
Well, exactly.
Nah, you should become a blob like I am.
Or me.
Yeah.
Carl's running out of breath listening to Zero. What the fuck?
Oh no.
What I need to do, so I have a buddy that like wants to he's like in dad mode and he wants to go back and he's like, hey, we should, because I go by myself with no spotter, and there's that meme that I think I kind of made the meme between Mazza and myself when I was like, I can bench 300 pounds without a spotter. I think I said 250. And so I basically want to have my buddy hold the phone and basically record it so I can prove to Mazza I can do it.
I don't think Maz will just say you didn't do it.
He'll
There's
claim
no way
the
to
weights
prove
were
anything.
like foam or
Yeah, fake weights.
Yeah. 1 second. I gotta adjust myself on the end because you guys sound very low on my end, but it's on my volume, so don't worry.
No, we're just speaking really quietly today.
Yeah. Just speak softly and carry a big stick, right?
I'm carrying my big stick wherever I go.
Yes. Just say you don't care, and everything works out in the end, right?
Yeah.
And of course, we gotta give some shout outs to people that have joined us tonight. And of course, we got Nazimer joining us saying hi. He's supposed to say, Queef, Latifa, and Mr. Meat. You guys have to figure out which one is who there too.
Yeah, those are our names from the Cronking server. Now it's up to you to figure out who's who.
Who's who?
And then, of course, also joining us is Dude. I'm not going to say the numbers because that's weird, but you know who you are, Dude1286. There you go. I said it. I lied. And he also says here, you got a new pic to add to the Cult of Carl profile. Is it the Frieza photo that you're talking about there, Dude? I think that might be it. And of course, joining us is also Angry Canadian, all the way from the land of the rising sun. So, hello there, sir. And
That's where all of us are from, Japan.
exactly. We're not allowed into shrines though, because we ruin everything.
Yeah, we keep breaking the shrines. That's
Well,
why they kicked us up.
I say
Canada.
we, but really, it's not the Canadians. It's the Americanos.
And the Dutch. Ugh.
And then, of course, Mr. Cage and Baxter over on Twitch joining us as well, saying hi, hello, how are you guys doing as well? All right, so this is going to be what I want to try to do at least once a month going forward. And, you know, if you guys want to come back and you liked it and you just want to talk games, that's open invite, of course. But I figured a lot of times when I listen to people talk about video games and stuff like that, they don't really talk about video games in a lot of these podcasts. At least they don't go for like a recap or something like that. They kind of tell you what they hate, not what they like, what they share. And on top of that, too, I feel like the only YouTuber I actually see that does kind of something like this is ACG, where he will sit down and preview video games that are coming out next month. So I kind of wanted to take that concept and just say, what are we playing? What games are we playing this month? You know, and since it's the first one, we can even talk about games that came out in February and January as well. And just kind of put out recommendations. It doesn't have to be new games specifically. It could be retro games, backlog games that you maybe just started playing that came out last month too, and you're just started this month. As well as talk about, like, you know, maybe recommendations that are coming out in April that we are all looking forward to and have on our radar and hoping they turn out good. I feel like this is kind of missing in the gaming space. Just talking about games. Shocking, I know, right?
Yeah. Who would have thought that people who play games like to talk about games?
Exactly.
That's something I never guessed, but yeah.
So I don't really want to make this one too hyper focused on, say, for example, like news or anything like that, because I feel like a lot of people already have thousands of other options like that. Obviously, Gronking, you know, you guys do a really good show pretty much daily at this point. And you know, even Nasamer is like been coming up with some really good, like, in-depth pieces lately too. Just what I would consider actual journalism, shockingly enough. You know.
Yeah, he's not of a sane mind. He's mentally ill.
Well, he is
Well, I mean,
from an island country, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
to shout him out, it's like, you know, it comes from like actually having passion and actually caring about the hobby. I think, and again, not to derail what we're trying to talk about, but I think there's a lot of people that care more about the sensationalism rather than the merits of the hobby. And, you know, I will say it till I'm blue in the face. One of the reasons why I walked away from a lot of most of the culture war stuff is because I actually really care about gaming and I want gaming to be in a good space. And I want gaming to be based on its merit, like the way we talk about games to be merit based. Like, hey, is this good? Is this worth my time? I feel, and you know, a lot of people that know me outside of the gaming stuff know that I talk toys, specifically Transformers, and you know, it used to be in that space too that we would talk about like, hey, is this worth my money and my time? And now I think a lot of it is people go for confirmation bias. They have pre-existing biases, or you know, whether they're like, yeah, I think this is going to be the best figure ever, and I want this person to reaffirm that I spent my money wisely. And I think you see that with games and movies, and I think we need to have this return to being objective about how we talk about things we enjoy, and really get back in touch with why we do it, and why it's important, and why you know, you don't just go rush out and buy something you're unsure of. You know, let people who are passionate about it and are going to be able to give a detailed explanation about why it's worth your time and money help you out. And if you know you're just going to spend your time and money regardless on your own, why do you need confirmation bias?
Exactly. And I feel like what it is that made me like really passionate about gaming and really get into stuff. Ironically enough, was like podcasts like Podcast Unlocked or Podcast Beyond or even Sacred Symbols, when you had a lot of these game journalists that we kind of look at and we call them like, all sorts of like things like soy boy or cuck or whatever like that now. But a lot of them, when they are in their element and they're not talking about politics, they still generally do love games, and they still generally get you into games that you never really think about. I got into the Yakuza series, ironically enough, because I listened to Podcast Beyond, and I forget the guy's name. He kind of is a weirdo online, but he was very passionate about Yakuza, and I went and I tried it out one day, and now I'm a big fan of it. Colin Moriarty, even though I don't really like him too much as of his lately stuff, he got me to try out Far Cry Primal, and I still say Far Cry Primal is the best Far Cry game ever. So I kind of want to start getting that back out there with obviously just talking about games that we're playing, and not just like a brief little blurb, but like a whole in-depth breakdown, kind of all that stuff. And another thing too is just from doing this video game challenge with Nerdy Neo and Angry Canadian, it has helped out a lot with me just going out of my comfort zone and beating video games. I think I'm up to 14 already for this year, and it's only March. And I think last year I finished with maybe 20. I can't really remember. And I've had a lot of fun just going back and playing both new and old games. So you never know when you're going to discover a new hit or a new classic or something like that. So with that being said, let's get this started, shall we? And I will give Mr. Cream the opening salvo here. What is a video game that you're playing this month? New, old, whatever. What would you like to lead off batter, as they would say?
You know what? I'm going to start out with an older game that I've put in over the time it's been out about 134 hours in. And that is Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. Now, I don't know if either of you guys have played this game before. But it is the best way to describe it is you are a military commander, like you basically command your own group of mercenaries during medieval ages. And so you have to, worry about, making sure they have enough food as well, while also trying to win your in combat, encounters where you are actually actively hitting your sword. It's a great mix of kind of management of your group while also having that fun, engaging gameplay of actually going in, killing people with your sword type of stuff, right?
Right.
On top of that, with Bannerlord, you can basically just create like a whole world empire. You can take over everything if you have the skill and the luck on your side of not getting completely blasted by giant armies of like 1,000 men.
And this is that early access game, correct?
No, it's full release.
Hmm.
It came out in let me see here. It's blasting me with music right now. Oh my god. 2022, October 25th. It actually has a DLC coming out on June 17th, which is going to add naval combat. So that'll be it's kind of going to add like Viking warship naval combat type of stuff. And it's got a bunch of different biomes. There's one group that's kind of like Mongol steppe type of soldiers. There's a desert area, more of a later Roman Empire type of stuff, more of a Byzantium, like an Eastern Roman feel as well. Obviously Vikings, kind of Celtic guys. It's a really, if you like action RPGs and strategy games, this is a game you should try out.
Okay, that actually sounds pretty cool, actually. You said Bannerlord, huh?
Yeah, Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord.
I'll have to look this up real quick here, just to get a visual representation and link that in the chat. Wow, that's cool.
You can also sell humans.
Ooh, perfect.
I should have led off with that. you can sell butter, cows, and humans.
What systems is this all on for? Their Cream?
I I don't know if it's on console. Let me check. I know for sure it's on Steam. PC is probably the best way to play this game. It just runs better with I would say mouse, with especially with like the swinging of the sword. It's meant for uh PC, but I will check right now
I
to
got
see
it
if it's
for you,
on
actually.
console.
It is on
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
PS4, PS5,
Mhm.
Xbox Series consoles, and of course the Xbone.
Mm.
So this is I'm gonna link
Cheapest on
this in the
PC.
chat here, and of course Windows and Steam. So I'm gonna link this over here in chat for everyone to check this out too, the Wikipedia as well. I'll post this over here. But yeah, this looks very interesting. I'm gonna have to get some more gameplay footage of it out there. Well, I'm gonna have to check out gameplay footage, I should say. But yeah, that's a really good one too to start off with. Definitely has a lot of interesting qualities and definitely a genre spreader. It looks like too, so that's really cool. How about you, Mr. Zero? What you got?
So the main one I've been working through, it has been Donkey Kong Country Returns. I went from one monkey game to another. I famously went through Black Myth Wukong into the start of the new year, and then I picked up Donkey Kong Country Returns. I've been working on polishing that game off, and it's a mixed bag for a couple of reasons. Biggest mixed bag about it is that the game should not have been $60. It should have been, a budget release. I don't know why they even bothered to. I think basically the game was one big experiment for Nintendo playing around with porting older games to Unity, because it's crazy because the game doesn't look like a remake, but it is. Like the bulk of the reason, I think I told you this in chat, was I know I definitely told Angry Canadian this, is watching that Digital Foundry video and seeing that they remade the entire game in Unity. It piqued my autism, so I was like, okay, I want to see, what Nintendo was able to do. And the Unity engine is typically kind of like odd in places, but I mean it's very polished. I mean, it feels like a Nintendo game. The only downside to it is the load times are a little bit longer than they were on the Wii, which is a shame because like you're dealing with a disc versus cartridge. Granted, it's higher fidelity assets, even though it doesn't look much higher fidelity. It doesn't really look like a super HD game, but I mean it's still fun, and it's been scratching that itch for a 2D platformer. Um, and I just, after playing Wukong, I just really wanted something where at the end of the day I could shut my brain off and just kick back and play something familiar that, I've played already on two other platforms. I played it on Wii and I played it on 3DS. So playing it on the Switch again is it's kind of like one of those like, coming home games, It's not my favorite Donkey Kong Country game, but it's still like it's a comfort food game.
All right, all right. Yeah, that was actually January too, right? When
Yep.
that came out.
Yep. So like I basically I wrapped up Wukong and I was like, all right, other monkey game. And I've had a little bit of distractions. I said one of my resolutions was I wanted to pick a game and stick with it, but I built a Raspberry Pi 5 and it runs GameCube really well. and, so I've been playing one of my guilty pleasure games, Wave Race Blue Storm, when I'm downstairs. I'll like sit at the bar and I'll just pick up a 8-bit Do controller and start playing Blue Storm.
Oh, okay. How about you, Cream? Do you have any thoughts about this Donkey Kong?
Oh, well, I am a big fan of monkeys. I'm actually a big Donkey Kong Country fan. Mainly the original 3. I love those games. Donkey Kong Country 2. I'm pretty sure that's the first game I ever like 100% completed. So I fucking love those games. They're great platformers. The new ones I never got into. I think the last Donkey Kong game I played was the GameCube Bongo one. And
That's
because
still
I
a
was
good
a
game.
spastic, yeah, I was a spastic
Yeah.
kid who wanted to like smash my hands on stuff, so it made sense to buy bongos to do it with.
You wanted to play bongos
But
to Britney Spears' "Toxic"? Is that what you wanted to do as a kid?
yeah, exactly. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah,
Well,
I
they had
do
the
drum fills
I
and
thought
stuff.
you were playing the platformer one. Or were you playing the
There
rhythm
was,
one?
yeah, there was that one because there was also the point where like you would finish a level, then it would come up with a random fruit, and it's like just hit the bongos as much as you can, just beat the shit out of these things.
I remember those.
And then it would be like, okay, now you gotta actually like implement it in gameplay, and then they would give you another fruit to beat the shit out of with the bongos. Yeah, Jungle Beat was good.
The saddest thing in the world is knowing that Andre the Giant never got to play Donkey Konga. Can we all agree on that one?
That is actually really depressing. Fuck.
I don't know how his hands would handle like the sides of the bongo.
Listen, all I know is that we missed
he's
out
got
an
finesse.
opportunity. We could have had Nintendo give him a custom set of Donkey Kong bongos. It could have been a whole thing, and he sadly died before we could do that.
Yeah. R.I.P. to my boy Andre the Giant.
One of the only
Number
French
one
people
gamer.
I like.
One of the only gamers I liked.
And then, of course, dude over here is giving you a little ribbon over here, Mr. Zero. He says, extra saying he was trying to finish off Donkey Kong. Poor choice of words.
Hey, look,
shit.
sometimes you just got to grip it and rip it, you know?
Yeah, monkeys need love too. Come on.
Yeah.
I believe those were Chris Farley's final words before he died.
You got to grip it and rip it.
You got to grip it and rip it.
There was an Aqua Teen reference, and I'm surprised that one went over your head.
Yeah, I'm not shocked.
The Wong Burger episode.
Is that when they built the rocket ship out of dicks?
No, that's the one. Well, yeah, that is the one where Carl gets tonight. His prize was tonight. You'll get your dick ripped off.
Oh man, it's been a while since I've watched Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but I think when you said Wong Burger, I was like, that's the dick episode, right? Of course, I would remember that one of all the ones, guys, right? Hey, Dios mío. But yeah, that's a game I have not bought yet, only because just haven't bought it yet. Or do I have it? I don't know. I have too many games. I forget. But yeah. What do you? So what would you guys say? I should have asked this at the end, but Cream, I'll give you a second, and I'll throw it back to Zero. What would you, if you had to give that Bannerlords a grade? What would you grade it?
I always hate giving grades, but if I had to, gun to my head, I will be publicly executed if I don't. I would give Bannerlord. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. There's a little something for it. But here's my scale. Mid is 5 on my scale. Not this stupid like IGN bullshit of like, no, mid 7. That doesn't make sense. Why is there's so much lopsided for bad and not enough for good? I would genuinely give it a 7 out of 10. I think it is a very good game. There's some things I like better from the previous game, Mountain Blade Warband. But there are a lot of improvements on it. The graphics are a lot better. I like, honestly, the aspect of like an actual story, which really isn't there in Mountain Blade Warband. It's very sandboxy. This game, I think, does a good mix of, you have those story elements that you can follow, but there's also, you can start up a campaign and never do the story. And you can just go full sandbox with it, which is also enjoyable. The only thing I wish is that it had official multiplayer. People have developed a multiplayer mod for it. It would be really cool to go in with like 5 of your guys, 5 of the boys. They all make their own huge armies, and you just like wipe the map.
Yeah, I gotta check this out. I gotta see if it's on sale too. That's for sure. Because I might bump this up a little bit higher onto the list because that sounds cool. How about you, Zero? What would you give this? What is it, a remaster or a port? What are we?
Well, it's a remake technically because, like I said, they redid the whole thing in a different engine and all new assets. The gameplay is the same, so it's not really a remaster. It's a remake, but that old George Bush saying, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, don't get fooled." I bought the game 3 times in my life, so that says something. I I'd feel confident giving it like an 8.5. I mean, it's Donkey Kong Country Returns. I think the worst part about it is Angry Canadian was saying is the mine levels suck, and the music is nowhere near as good as the original trilogy or Tropical Freeze. I I would say Tropical Freeze is probably like a 9 or a 9.5. I mean, that's one of the best 2D platformers that Nintendo put out during the Wii U era, period. And it holds up on the Switch. It's actually an improvement on the Switch, and they added Funky Kong because he's technically easy mode, but he is fun to play as, and he introduces some new mechanics. But the game itself is fun. It stands the test of time. It doesn't feel like something that came out, God, 15 years ago.
Yeah,
Because
because
it's insane to think about.
this was a Wii game originally, right?
Yeah, it was a late Wii title. I want to say it was 2010.
Oh wow.
And I mean, that's the other part too. That like I will dock points for it being $60. It really shouldn't be $60. They should have said, hey, we're going to do this as a $40 title. I mean, there was far more work that went into Metroid Prime Remastered, and they sold that digitally for $30 and then physically for 50.
Nintendo, man, they don't make sense.
Yeah, they make dollars. Yeah, 2010 was the original Wii games release. Because I remember it came out like right around when I moved, and I remember playing it and just being like so enamored with that game. I was like, yeah, the music's kind of like not there, but the gameplay's awesome.
All right, right on, right on.
Man.
Any closing thoughts from either of you guys on your games?
I got a closing thought on fucking Extras game. Holy shit. People shit on friggin' Bethesda for Skyrim. Holy God. This is worse. 15 years?
Yeah, 15 years. I'm not making any excuses for myself either. I'm like I have a very large Switch collection. I think I posted that between my wife and I, we have 115 physical games on the Switch.
Rookie.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you've got a big game collection, but
You gotta bump those up.
Yeah,
it's
those are rookie numbers, bro.
Yeah, I got a whopping 2 games physically on the Switch. It's pretty awesome.
That's because you're Canadian, right? So there's like regulations against having that.
No, it's because I'm just an idiot.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, if you guys don't mind, I think I'll segue in here with a game I kind of want to sing its praises about. It's actually a new game that came out actually at the beginning of this month, and it's Split Fiction from Hazelight Studios and from the mind of Joseph Ferris, the guy who became very, very popular with a lot of gamers with the infamous "fuck the Oscars" rant that he went on. And I gotta say, I've been absolutely blown away by this game. I looked at it, I was like, yeah, I liked it. It Takes Two. I didn't think it should have won Game of the Year when it did, but I enjoyed the time that I had with it. So when I finally saw some of the reviews for people who were saying like, yeah, Split Fiction's the truth, everything, people are saying like it's their Game of Year contender. So I was like, you know what? $40 price tag to buy in, and you can play with a friend for free. It's cross-play, so I can literally play with any of my friends if they have a PlayStation, PC, or even Xbox. So I picked it up, gave it a try, and gentlemen, I got to tell you right now, that game is absolutely the truth. I have been very overwhelmed, and in a very positive way of overwhelmed, because this game is just pure fun. It's got a over-the-top fun storyline of basically a multi-billion-dollar company trying to steal people's stories, ideas, but at the same time, you are in the world of these writers, these struggling writers' stories. There's a lot of laughs and there's a lot of fun. Not to spoil too much of this game, even though it's very short, but you can find it online. They have these little things called side stories that are within the stories, and there's like basically little short stories. You and your buddies have to go find them, and they make for some of the most hilarious and funny, like just things I've seen in games that are just like so fucked up and weird. A lot of them, like I gotta say, I love like weird, random, and wacky, and this game just delivers on that front completely. On top of that, too, is the gameplay is super fun. It's very well polished. I've never had any issues. Me and Neo have been playing it, and the co-op and the puzzles are really good and fun. I've seen some people say that the only issue that they have with it is that it's a very forgiving game. So if you're looking for like an actual challenge, maybe this game is not for you in terms of like Dark Souls level difficulty. But there is a lot of, hard moments there just because it depends on the competent player you're playing. And I kind of want to ask you two guys, have you guys heard anything about it, seen anything about it? Are you interested in it at all? Let's go with Zero first.
Yeah, so it's a game I'm interested in. It's one that I'd really like to play with my wife. We have an Xbox in the living room, so I've been considering picking it up there. Though granted, she's been reading and binging anime, so I don't wait until she expresses some interest in playing it. And I followed the game, and I followed his other games. I have It Takes Two. I have Brothers. I thought Brothers was great. I love the fact that you could play Brothers as a solo. I've been meaning to play A Way Out, and this just looked like up my alley. I like the concepts of it, and when I saw like the whole thing with like the pigs farting, I was like, okay, that looks
That
hilarious
level
and
is
fun.
great. I'm glad you brought it up because I'm not trying to spoil it, but that level is so fucking weird and just like a wild trip. And especially when you get to know the characters a little bit more, like the blonde girl, I forget her name off the top of my head, but like she basically explains like the reason why the story exists is because her and her sister basically came up with this idea when they were like 5 years old, and that's why they got like these magical pigs and everything going on there. That level's great. I loved it so much. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, and just I like that sort of stuff. It's like it's not cookie cutter. I like when there's imagination in games, and I think like going back to Astrobot a little bit, there were some misconceptions about the game, and I know Cream, you eventually tried it, and the thing that I really sung the praises of Astrobot was it's not just hey, this is just a Sony member berries. Yeah, those levels do exist, but they're really few and far between outside of like, oh, hey, you can rescue a robot in this level that looks like a character, from gaming's history. But, they did a lot of really fun and innovative things in that game, like the singing tree and, the like the pirate boss or the big, there were things in it that you didn't expect that you don't really see because it's not cookie cutter level design. There's actual thought and creativity going into it. And so that's, what had piqued my interest about Split Fiction. I'd be playing it now if I had, if I had a schedule that was compatible with people or, I think that, like I said, the best case for me is just to get it on Xbox and sit down and couch co-op it. Just because, between work and gym and shows and all, it's really hard to figure out time to commit to a campaign of a game. But I do really want to play it.
Oh yeah, especially because this is a co-op specific game too. So
Co-op only.
you need to find another person to play with as well.
Yeah.
How about you, Cream? Have you seen anything about this game? What are your thoughts about it initially?
I did. I have to take a fat L with this game, and I'm okay with it. I'm glad I'm taking a fat L. I remember, I think Extra was there. We saw, well, maybe he wasn't for that exact stream, but it was
I was
during
probably watching.
probably it was during Summer Games Fest. We were doing the coverage on Gronking, Gronking on dogs, number one, all that stuff. So we were doing all this, and I saw the game come up. And we were watching the promotion stuff for it, and I'm like, I don't know if this is it, Chief. I was very, very worried with it just jumping around from like genre to genre from that what we saw from the first trailer, even though I was like, It Takes Two is a good game. It is, from what I've seen, from what I've the very, very little I played, it looks really, really fun. It was fun when I was playing it. and I was just like, I think this game's gonna suck. And then it came out, and I was like, oh, how is it? And everyone who I've talked to is like, you need to play this game. This game is awesome.
You
And
know what?
so that's a game I'm gonna check out. But I'm very happy that I was wrong.
I gotta shout one thing out with It Takes Two is that game has a really unconventional story within the modern audience stuff. And like when people were, calling the creator woke because of it's got, two female protags. Obviously they're gonna be, Mary Sue characters. I was just like, yeah, this is a guy that made a game where the whole point, like, I think one of the things with modern media is that like divorce good, don't try and salvage your marriage, you're better off, and he had a really unconventional story with It Takes Two, with these people that are literally on the verge of divorce and yet they salvage the relationship. You don't see stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I hate calling stuff based, because it kind of gets cringe, but I mean that's a pretty base story, man. Like to have like, the whole point of the game is you salvage your relationship, you find the spark again, and you come together for your daughter. I mean that's pretty like, you don't see that anywhere anymore. And then I was just like shocked when people are like trying to find the seams in this.
Yeah, and I will say this too. I kind of was with Cream too, where I just looked at the game and said, I don't know. I didn't go with like some people's attack routes. I'm like, it's woke, it's got women. I just saw it and I was like, sometimes, first impressions are always going to be what people take away from stuff. We've seen it with other trailers that the memes live on, and then gamers don't even give something a second chance. But I was like, yeah, maybe I'll pick this up when it goes on sale, because that's what I did with It Takes Two, because I
Mhm.
wait for it to be $20. But then just like everyone I knew, and I was on vacation at the time, so I couldn't play it until I got back. So everyone I knew that was just like saying like, this game's great, this game's awesome, this game's wonderful. I think right now it sits at 91 on Metacritic combined, which is really a high score. So I'm just like, well, it's not a full price game, which is also even more amazing when you think about it. Like, it's from EA published, so like you think about it, like they could have just easily charged $60 for this game. But you know, very moderate entry level, because $40 I would say is like the moderate price point. It's not super cheap, but it's not super expensive depending on your budget. And on top of that too, you could play with any of your friends for free, and all they have to do is just download the Buddy Pass, and the Buddy Pass is free. The only downside, because this is killing Neo, is that you can't unlock achievements if you play on the Buddy Pass or the trophies or anything else like that. So for all you hunters out there, you can't be freeloaders. They don't give you that satisfaction.
Can we say like one thing about EA right now is EA is not the worst company in gaming anymore.
Oh, not by a long shot anymore.
Yeah. Like I loved Immortals of Avium, and that's a game that like people wrote off. It's not the greatest game. It's not the greatest first person exploration based first person shooter. It's not going to like shock the earth, but it was a really competently made game that was a complete game, and it was put out by EA. And it just sucks that like, it's like when we talk about Star Wars Outlaws on Gronk, and we often say like, well, yeah, the worst thing that game had going for it was the Star Wars license. And it sucks because like right now there's EA originals, and they're actually like complete games for, a reasonable price. And yet the worst thing that comes along with them is the baggage of, yeah, they've got that EA logo on there.
Yeah, and also kind of when we talk about Immortals of Avion too, that game also suffered from. I think they charged $70 for it, right?
I think it was 60, to be honest.
I
can't
think it was
remember.
like very highly priced too, and I think that also turned a lot of people off as well.
So there was, when I bought it, Walmart was still doing the thing where if you bought a physical copy, because I bought it on PlayStation 5,
Yeah.
and it was like if you bought a physical copy from Walmart, it was like $10 less. I don't know when they stopped doing that. But yeah, I mean, it still was a complete game. And I think that the problem was people saw it and they saw that it's got a diverse cast, and there's that like muscle chick in the game. But I mean, that's just how the characters look. And if you get into the story, it's a completely original story. It's not bastardizing anything. And there's really nothing in it that isn't escapist.
Yeah, I think that was a 2023 game, correct? Right,
Yeah.
Immortals.
Yep.
So I think I bought that because if you had Game Pass at the time, they had
$8.
Yeah, it was like $5. It was crazy. It's like that and
Dead Space.
Wild Hearts as well. Like they were all on super deep sale. So EA was just giving them away at the end of the year if you had Game Pass, which I gladly took advantage of. That's for sure. But I just wanted to also throw this out there, gentlemen. If you ever need somebody to co-op this game with, I will gladly do it with you guys. So just hit me up, let me know. I'm currently doing it with Mr. Neo as well. So once he's done with Stripper School, maybe we'll have some more time to play it, and we'll be definitely doing more of that. But if anyone's out there, if you haven't, go give Split Fiction a chance, all right? Or ask around, ask a friend. If you don't want to spend the money, find a friend. I'm pretty sure they'll be like, hell yeah, I'll play with you. And just download your Buddy Pass. It's free. You can try it out for yourself. And if you like it later, you can always buy it and then do the same thing with a friend. Be like, yeah, I'll try it out with you as well.
It seems to me like people haven't really caught on that like WB Games is like the worst company right now. I'm like they even next to Ubisoft, WB is just
they're pretty fucking bad right now.
They're closing more studios than putting out games. Let's just be honest here.
Like last Sunday, I talked about how like with Mortal Kombat 1, I still haven't bought Chaos Reigns because I just that game just fucking killed me.
Yeah,
it's a shame.
I didn't mind what they were doing with the story in that game, but I just gave up on playing it.
I hated the story because it was just like the whole crux of the story is that Liu Kang's a giant retard. It has nothing to do like, oh, hey, yeah, we're gonna give Baraka a second chance. We're gonna have him be born as an Edenian noble, but instead of Tarkatans being a race, it's a debilitating disease that's like hyper Alzheimer's that gives you like claw hands.
I like that though. That would be cool if Alzheimer's was like that. I'd be like, I guess I'm okay with this.
And then like, oh yeah, like
when you're walking down the street, grandma claws someone's fucking head off.
Yeah. We're gonna have Shang Tsung and Quan Chi be born in the same timeline again, and like in the vicinity. Like, no, why would you do that? We're still gonna give him all the means to become a sorcerer, but now he's a snake oil salesman that people laugh at until like he's like given an ex machina.
I know. I thought that part was funny though. At least it was like he made you a piece of shit.
The story I started off okay, and then it quickly fell apart.
That's correct. I do agree. I was like, it started off good, but then it fell apart, and that's kind of where I also stopped playing because I just like I kind of got bored of it, you know.
I also laughed when Kenshi got his eyes like popped out with Melina's sigh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and then also Melina no longer being a clone of Katana, Scorpion, and Sub-Zero being brothers. Well, basically, Bihan being Sub-Zero and Quan Li being Scorpion. That just hurt my brain. Like, why would he become why would one be a pyromancer and the other would be a cryomancer? I don't know. It's just dumb.
They tried. They're trying, and it comes down to that thing where it's just the old quote is just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Also, how is it that like Havoc can regenerate his body, but then he gets all pissed off because he like gets his head shoved into a thing of molten metal, but he can't like they never explain why he can't regenerate his face.
'Cause reasons.
Yeah.
That's really what it is, 'cause reasons. That's all it is. Listen, I gotta say this. NetherRealm is from Chicago. We're not known for always being on point with everything, okay?
Well, Ed Boon straight up forgot Mortal Kombat 8 never existed. He was like, I guess it's 9. X sounds cool.
Like I said, we aren't exactly proficient in public schooling either, all right?
You know what Mortal Kombat 8 is? Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, baby. Let's
Hell
go.
Yeah. Shout out
The-
Jason
the-
Tungate, his favorite video game of all time.
The crazy part is I don't hate that game. It's just not like really Mortal Kombat. It's like it's a competent fighter. It set the blueprint for, Injustice, but it's just like it's not Mortal Kombat 8.
That's true. That's true.
All right, so I'm gonna with that segue, gonna move on with Mr. Cream. Do you have another game that you'd like to recommend this month or talk about that you've been playing?
Well, I'm kind of conflicted about this game, whether to recommend it, but it's definitely a game I've been playing. Anyone who watches Gronking sees that I always wear my Blue Jays hats. I'm a big baseball fan.
I already know where this is
We're
going.
getting, yeah. We're getting close to opening day. Opening day is what, Thursday?
I believe so, yeah.
So like 2 days. Yeah, 2 days. So, with that being said, naturally, we get the launch of this year's MLB The Show game. MLB The Show 25, baby. It's... If you played an MLB Show game in the last 4 years, it's the exact same thing with a roster update. That's really about it. They haven't really tried to do anything interesting. To be honest, they have their showcase mode, which I get to get away with saying this word, so I'm really excited. It showcases the Negro Leagues.
Hell yeah.
Which were, a black-only league because of segregation. And they basically kind of are just continuing that. It feels like all the stuff in this year's showcase is left over from last year's, which I also played because it was on Game Pass last year.
Yeah, this is the first year they haven't done it since they had the deal, right?
Exactly. This year you have to purchase it if you're on Xbox straight out. I bought it just because it's like one of these things where it's like, I'll buy it once every 5 years and then go back and buy another one. That's kind of how I work with sports games. Unless there's a really good deal, I'll just kind of buy once, every half decade and then show back up when things are drastically different in roster.
Wait, didn't you also buy WWE 2K25 this year?
Well, that's different because I'm a hypocrite and I always buy the wrestling games, even the bad ones. But with MLB The Show, if you're looking for just a mindless game, perfect. I give this a 3 out of 10.
It's the curse with sports games because I can fall into this loop as well. Not so much with Madden anymore, but with the NHL games, I'm a sucker sometimes. I'll like buy it for just a cover athlete just to have it. Especially if it's a player I like Jonathan Taves or Patrick Kane or Ovechkin. When they were the cover athletes, I went out and bought those games specifically. But it is the power fantasy of just like I can make retarded trades that would never happen in real life, and just constantly go out there and make like
the
super.
NBA game is absolutely the worst. I think I traded like Andre Iguodala and like 3 first-round draft picks for LeBron James 1 year. I'm like, this does not seem right.
Yeah, I do love all those little memes where it's like when you see like the real NFL trades, like not even Madden accepted this trade. What are they doing?
Yeah,
I love those so much. But no, I feel you. I tried playing. I think MLB The Show one time before it went multi-plat because I think PlayStation was giving it away. And I started playing it and I was like, oh yeah, I don't fucking care about baseball. And I just uninstalled it because I don't, let me rephrase it. I cannot watch baseball on TV. I can watch one at like a park if someone wants to go and be like, yeah, let's go to a baseball game because, in Chicago, you either can pay the overpriced ticket to go watch the Cubs and the shitty stadium, or you can pay like $5 and battle getting hepatitis and go to a Sox game, on the south side. So there you go.
By the way, the worst team in baseball right now, the White Sox.
Oh,
by a lot.
Yes, it has been a wild trip out here. Do you know who Urinating Tree is?
Yes, yeah, I'm a big fan of his channel. He's good.
I actually had him on, and that was a great thing on my show. But he had a really fun breakdown when he does his little sports things, and when the Sox were just like complete dog shit this year. He just did a montage of all the White Sox fans calling into the sports radio stations complaining just when he was covering the White Sox, and then he would just move on. It is the greatest thing
Oh, it's
ever.
just it's sad. It's really sad, but it's hilarious. So here's the bright side of MLB The Show. If you want to rebuild the White Sox, you could probably do it more successfully in that game than the actual owners will be in real life.
Yes, because you'll actually spend money.
I used to do
Yeah,
that
exactly.
with the Orioles because Peter Angelos doesn't like to spend money or didn't like to spend money. But now
Yeah,
it's
your
crazy
Orioles
to
are
think.
kind of good.
Yeah, Gunnar Henderson's on the cover, and I was like, do I want to pick it up because of that?
Oh,
I almost picked up. I might wait until last year's is in the bin, thrift bin, so I can get Vladdy on the cover.
there you go. I want to address something here too because our friend Mr. AC lives in Japan, so he says, "Man, Shuhei Otani is everywhere out here." And here's another thing too. I don't know if you guys have Asian stores, but by me I do. He is everywhere in the Asian stores and everything. It is crazy to go to like just like over here it's called Jungbu Mart, and he's like on soda cans, ramen packs. It's wild.
Wow.
Like he's like Jesus fucking Christ for the Japanese right now, Shuhei Otani. And on top of that
I think
too, one more thing. I don't. Sorry, but I watch sumo wrestling, and I was watching somebody stream it, and he has like commercial after commercial of him doing like cell phone ads or for like sports packages out there because they got their own like little sports network. I forget what it's called. He's huge. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say I think the only reason we don't have that up here with him is because we almost got him and then he said, "Fuck you, I'm going to the Dodgers." And
I
so now
mean-
all the Asians up here turned on him.
I remember when the Mariners had Ichiro Suzuki, and
Oh,
now
yeah.
granted, when I went to a Mariners game in 2009, he was on the DL, but they still celebrated. They actually sold sushi at the Mariners. I think at that time they changed the name. It wasn't owned by. It was like after Nintendo had sold. What was it called prior? I can't remember the name of the stadium, but they
can't
had like
either.
the Ichiro, and I was like, I don't know. I can't eat fish or shellfish, but I was like, I don't know about people getting the sushi at a baseball game. It's a little weird.
Oh fuck.
But still, I remember like there was so much hype for Ichiro.
One second.
Oh, yeah.
I have to take care of something real quick. But do you want to finish your final thoughts about that? And if not, then we could go to zero. But I gotta.
We can go to zero. The
Yeah.
game's not good. That's the base point, but I'm still playing it.
All right, we're gonna go to U0. But one more thing too. Diablo says we could give you a pass on the wrestling game because technically wrestling is not a sport. So there you go.
It's
Oh.
real to me, damn it.
Plus, we have to play. I have to technically play it for Gronking's sake,
Yeah,
quote
how come
unquote. I was gonna play the game anyways, but
we gotta create the whole we gotta create web personalities. We gotta create us in the game and just do color commentary. Like let the fights play out. Like do a Royal Rumble.
By God, Boogie's split in half. God damn it!
like
God damn it! What did you do to?
like I know what the entrance music should be. Like I know what Mazza should be. I know what Jono should be. I just think it'd be funny too if there's like a slider where you could like make a character rude and make one like. Well, is there like I haven't.
Yeah,
played
yeah.
the-
You have personality sliders in that game.
Oh yeah, so you gotta make Maz like the ultimate heel, and then like
Disrespectful.
yeah, and like Jono the ultimate baby face. Like, hey, you shouldn't be upset right now, Maz. Come on. But yeah.
Man.
So my game, my other game is one that I just played. In fact, Cream, you just played this one. Is Repo on PC,
Dude.
and this game has been kind of going viral And I guess the best way to describe it is you are a team of like well, you can play it single player. So you're 1 to 6 little tiny robots. And it's kind of like a roguelike multiplayer game where you're going in and working as a team and you're repossessing items. And it's a really simple concept, but when you get into these houses, like just crazy, it's not just houses. Like there's like a house, there's like a haunted mansion, there is a science lab. There's probably more stuff we didn't get around to seeing just because like we were figuring the game out. But holy shit, is it fun? And it's some of the best proximity voice in a game that I've ever experienced. Like proximity voice used to be big. Like I remember when Halo introduced it. And Repo really takes it to the next level. And like you'll be playing with people and they'll go into another room and it really sounds like they're in another room. And like when you can do text to speech if you don't want to be on a mic. But you can also do text to speech when you die. And like the game is like it's brutally difficult. Like you're repossessing these items, but like some of them are really heavy. They take teamwork, and then you'll have stuff like garden gnomes come out and attack you, or like monsters that one shot you. And when you get rezzed, you come back with like 1 hit point, and you have to buy health packs in between the heists. And it's and there's like all these gadgets. We didn't really get around to using the gadgets or the items. There's stuff in it that's really cryptic, but goddamn, is it fun and funny. I mean, I was saying in the chat earlier, like I still go back and watch where Lethal was like yelling at us, and it's just like just the way the characters emote, like having this angry, this little green robot emote an angry Australian man with his like head flapping like a Canadian from South Park. Like we couldn't keep it together. And he's like, "Hey, why are you cunts laughing at me?" And it's like you don't see our POV.
Dude, I was literally just sitting there laughing playing that game. It was so much fun.
Yeah, that was like I haven't had an experience where it hurt to laugh. Like I remember that one point I was like laughing. He's like Lethal thought it was a monster or something. I was just laughing at him in the other room. And he's like, "Oh, it's fucking extra." I was like chortling. That when we were in the store and you threw the grenade at him.
He killed him.
And then we're like debating, and then I was like watching his stream, and he's just like typing up a storm, thinking that like we could hear his ghost, but we couldn't because we were still learning the game mechanics.
Oh man, I remember one point. I think it was Lethal. He walked into another room, and all I heard was a very distant "Gah!" and then he died. And that was it. I was like, "This is amazing."
Yeah, that Repo game has definitely been popping up a lot. It's been starting to get a lot of memes too. I've been seeing about it, so that's interesting.
Dude, it's $10 and it's really well optimized. I think the game file is like 200 megs.
Oh wow!
But like you wouldn't believe it. You would not believe that it's like that small but that well optimized, and it's got a really good art style to it, and it's got like this kind of VHS filter and fisheye effect to it. But it's a really good looking game that plays really well. It's got a small footprint. But I think that game's gonna blow up.
Yeah, it kind of like what you're talking about. It's like that Lethal Company, right? A little bit in that vibes.
Yeah, a bit in the sense of that. I mean, this game I think it's like been consistently in the top 5 on Steam for concurrent players since it's been out. It's been doing really, really well.
I think though the biggest like if I were to give the game any marks, it's just that there's a tutorial, but it really doesn't tell you everything you need to know. There's a lot of trial and error, and the game is brutally difficult. Now I haven't touched the single player yet to see if it kind of gives you any other mechanics for like how to navigate some of the monsters and creatures and people you run into. But even still, it's like I have not had that sort of like fun where I'm like laughing so hard it hurts in a multiplayer game in maybe like a decade.
That's pretty high praise then, huh?
Yeah.
Hmm. I'm gonna have to definitely check that out. It's only $10, you say?
Only $10. And like we're playing like with people all over the world. I mean, John is West Coast, right?
No, he's East.
He's East. Okay, so I mean, still, you guys are pretty far north from me, and then having Lethal, in Adelaide, and we had no issues with lag or latency. Now, granted, I do have a pretty good internet connection on my end, and I was hosting, but even still, like we had no issues with anybody blipping or not being able to hear anybody or anybody cutting in and out. I mean, it's a really well optimized game, and that's for a super budget title. That's really impressive.
Well, that goes to show you when it comes down to his dev talent most of the time,
Yeah, and good net code.
Yes.
'Cause, like,
Go
yeah.
on. Finish.
I was gonna say you have to be really coordinated to pick some of this stuff up, and do like team lifting. And at no point did it feel like somebody's connection was getting in the way, or we were doing something we shouldn't. And it's like we were looking at the internet speeds, and so there were some modest to low speeds, but we had no issues with latency.
Well, I'll have to definitely check this game out too. Like I said, it's been gaining a lot more popularity. I've been seeing a lot more memes of it pop up online. So
The company boys need to play it, man. Like you should get on with like Paul and Bliss and DJ Access. You guys would have a blast playing that, and you'd have a lot of laughs doing it too.
well, Paul, if you're still there, you know what to do. Call Bliss up, and Bliss will take care of the rest because he's the one that does everything. All right, right on, right on. That sounds fun. I'm definitely have to look into it some more and probably put that on a list next payday for sure. What would you give that as a grade right now?
It's hard. I would say like initial impressions are strong, man. I this might be crazy, but it was one of the most. And we played a lot longer than we thought we were. I think we originally just planned to play it for like an hour and a half, and we ended up going close to like 3 to 4 hours, if I remember correctly. I got to look back at Lethal stream, but strong impressions, man. I don't want to say this is a permanent score, but first impressions a 9. Like
Oh.
I could see this. Like all we've talked about since playing it is when are we going to play this again, and getting other people in.
Right on, right on. Well, if you guys ever do that, I'll happily join in as well.
Hell yeah.
Also, dude says the company boys have already played it, so there you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I must have missed that episode. Or did the dude, if you're still there, was it like an actual like promptu stream, or was it like added on, as in like maybe something went wrong? Because I don't remember them playing that too myself, but I also was on vacation, so they could have played it when I was on vacation as well. But right on, right on. And it sounds like you also had a really fun time with it too, right there, Cream?
Oh yeah, that is one of the most fun experiences I've had playing a game. Full stop.
Wow, that's high praise.
Honestly, it's in contention for game of the year for me right now,
Ooh.
and it's strong contention. It is a great indie. It's very cost effective if you don't want to spend a lot of money on a game and get a lot of bang for your buck. This game has, I would say, near infinite replayability at this point. We'll see how that holds up. The longer the game's out, they're still updating the game. They're still adding stuff, and I found 0 glitches and 0 problems with it through 4 hours of playing it, and that is really, really good, especially in this day and age where you get a lot of things. Even good games are releasing in shit states.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear then. Worst case scenario, it could be your best indie game of the year if it doesn't
Exactly. Yeah.
edge it out anyway. But that's a really strong high praise too as well. So definitely go check this game out. Dude says that it was part of one of their 3 game Saturdays where they played 3 different games on a Saturday. So maybe that's why he also didn't know about it either too, because maybe he joined at a different time.
The other thing too is this is like I think the second game that this studio has put out. Like they did Voldigo, and well, I guess they did two prior Sulfur, but I'd really never heard of this dev team prior, and it's just impressive. I kind of want to go check out their other games now, which they're all roguelikes, and roguelikes are very hit or miss. It's Semiwork, SEMIWRK, they're the dev and the publisher. But
Yeah.
So I looked at it. That Sulfur game is actually not theirs. They're just it's one of those things where two indie companies decide to
it
bundle their
collabed.
games.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Perfect Random. Okay, yeah, well, it credits both of them for the dev and the Perfect Random and Semiwork for Sulfur,
Oh, okay.
but and there's a demo out for it too, so good way to kind of check it out without having to commit. But I like the fact that from what I've seen, this is a team that like, and I've said this on Gronking, I've said it with you, Carl, is that like one of the things that's kind of missing from gaming is like that whole blend of developers who are artists. And like this is a game where the art really elevates the experience. Like you can tell that they to make a game that's like, and let me go into my library and get you an exact like file size for this game. But for what they did, um it's yeah, it's so let's see. General, figure out where to go and see how big a game is in Steam. But for what they did for such a small file size, it's nuts. It's like this is the stuff that like needs to be the norm.
Well, right on there. So, any closing thoughts before we move on to me, there, sir?
Oh, and they made this in Unity. Holy crap. And I'm just gonna see what the my autism wants to know how big this game is, because it's
Well, uninstall it and reinstall it, and then you'll find out
it's
fast.
okay. So the whole folder is 897 megabytes for the entire game.
Oh wow.
And
Not
Not
just as
200, but
just to show you how big it is right now, there's only 2 games on Steam that have more concurrent players than Repo right now. Counter-Strike 2, which is above 500,000. Obviously, Counter-Strike 2 is built different, as the kids say.
Yeah.
And then Dota 2, which has like almost 300,000 people playing. Repo
Wow.
is ahead of Marvel Rivals, Monster Hunter, PUBG, even a game like Schedule 1 that just came out. Yeah, this is kind of insane how big it got.
Yeah, that's good though. That's a great success story. That's what I would say. It's a little indie team making a little cult classic hit right there that gets a lot of players, even if it's just for a short amount of time. That's still a success. Wild. I got to get in on this, guys. I'm very far behind on that one. I took like the first couple weeks off of this month to go on vacation, and I wish I would have just went to work because that vacation sucked. But that's neither here nor there. Yes. So, a Repo, go check that out on Steam right now. You said it has a demo too.
no, Repo doesn't have a demo, but it's $10. Like
So,
you're doing yourself a disservice not to buy it for that. I mean, I again, like I think it's ambitious for me to say I think this game's a 9 out of the gate, having only played it for a handful of hours. But I will never forget that time playing the game because it was just that damn good. It was just it's like it's a multiplayer experience. Like they could turn around and fuck up the game really bad. I'll be like, yeah, no, that time that we played it for the first time, like that was one of the most memorable multiplayer experiences I've had in 10 years. Like they'll never take that away from me.
alrighty, right on. Cream, you have any closing thoughts on this before we move on?
Yeah, if you have an extra $10 laying around, buy the game.
Yeah, skip fucking McDonald's, you fat pieces of shit, and go support an indie game. That's what I
Yeah.
say then, right? You would agree?
Yeah.
We all agree? They're all fat pieces of
I would,
shit that
I
could
would
skip
say
McDonald's?
skip McDonald's unless you're getting the Grimace Shake if it comes back.
The fuck's a
Then
Grimace
go to
shake?
McDonald's. Oh, it's the thing giving everyone diarrhea.
I've never heard about this. What the fuck's a
You've never
Grimace
heard
shake?
of the Grimace Shake?
No. Is this a real thing?
The
Is this, or
purple.
is this a meme?
Yes. Oh, the
Wow,
Grimace Shake is built. Dude, it's wild.
How did you not see the Grimace Shake?
I'm not a McDonald's fan. I'm a Taco Bell guy.
I mean, it was a meme where like people were like drinking it and faking their deaths.
Nah, I don't remember this. I must have missed this one.
Oh,
When was
it was
this?
It's for Grimace's birthday. In fact,
This was last year.
Really?
yeah, they even released. I'll put it in Discord, but I'll show you what's in my retro pocket right now.
The
When I
Grimace
say
Shake.
retro pocket, I'm talking about my FPGA game.
Yeah, not your butthole.
Yeah, not that. But they even came out with an NES, or I'm sorry, a Game Boy ROM, like that actually was a real ROM for Grimace's birthday.
Really?
Yeah, and it's actually
From
a
a
good
boy
game.
Grimace.
How did I miss this? What was I doing?
You're not up on your. You got to catch up on your Grimace lore. You missed Repo and the Grimace Shake. Oh man, you're slipping right now.
I am.
Yeah.
You gotta catch up. You gotta catch up on your Grimace lore.
I don't know. If you ask me about what Taco Bell has done, I'm all in on it. But McDonald's,
The
not
best
so.
part too, they actually even released the game in a web browser. And I don't know if it's still up, but you could actually play the ROM in a Game Boy emulator on McDonald's website
That's
on phone. It was
so
like,
weird.
yeah.
I'll have to look into this some more. I don't believe this is real. This sounds so weird.
I know it sounds weird, but it's real.
It's like that. Did you guys try that Baja Blast gelato?
No,
What
I heard it was
the
good.
fuck did you just say to me?
Wait, you didn't even
Baja
know
Blast
about this?
gelato. No, I don't know if that's up here. That might be an
that-
American only thing.
Yeah, it sounds like an American thing, so it makes sense. Yeah, Taco Bell put out like Baja Blast gelato, and of course my fucking fat ass decided that I need to try this because I'm like contractually obligated to try everything new and disgusting from Taco Bell. And it basically was dog shit, but it wasn't terrible. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I know that sounds contradictory, but it was.
It was like the normal level of Taco Bell bad.
Yeah, it's like you were expecting this to be worse than what it was, and then you were like mildly surprised that it wasn't complete ass. So
And then you're on the toilet for about 3 hours the next morning.
no, it makes your fucking shit look like a glowing one from fucking Fallout, and then you go like, "Do I have cancer?" That's like what you think.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. comes in. He's like, "You have the Baja ass."
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's a game right there. Does this person have cancer? Did they eat Taco Bell and you just show their shit the next morning?
It's just an episode of Law and Order Special Victims Unit. That's all it is.
The victim is your toilet. Holy fuck.
We found a bunch of shit on his dick. That's how we know he did the crime.
You know, it's like your wife comes in. She's like, "Oh, did you get Tiny Bowl?" You're like, "No, I got the Baja Blast gelato and I flushed 15 times, but the bowl's still blue."
I'm ready for my colonoscopy. I did my cleansing.
Exactly, right? I don't know. I'm a sucker. I always go for Taco Bell. It's like my go-to. It's like
I love Taco Bell. I miss it because like I only let myself eat outside of my diet once a week, and it's just I got to be. And I mean no disrespect to Taco Bell or the enjoyers, but it's like I got to be in like a really weird headspace to be like the one meal that I eat that has carbs this week is going to be Taco Bell.
Oh, fuck. If you do that, you're gonna die. You may not live.
No, we did it once. Like my wife was just like, she's just like, I miss Crunch Wraps, and I was just like, yeah, Crunch Wrap sounds pretty. I mean, the nice thing too is like when I do my cheat meals, it's like I do OMAD, so I still eat once a day. So I'm gonna get like 3 Crunch Wraps or something when I go.
oh jeez.
Oh no! So you were in the ER for the next 2 weeks after that, right?
No, I walked it off.
That's funny.
I have to walk off my Taco Bell meal.
I'll tell you that it's like I think I even said to my wife the time I was like, you know those old timey guys that used to take cannonballs to the gut. I'm
Oh my
pretty sure
god,
this is
those
what
are
it felt like.
great. That's when fat men were proud.
Yeah, it just literally felt like I got punched in the lower gut.
Yeah, Nerd Takes knows what's up. Taco Bell after a night out is crazy good. Yes, because you're already fucking hammered as it is, so you might as well keep going.
No, the trick is you get a poutine, okay? And then chocolate milk. I know it sounds wild, but here's the thing. The gravy in the chocolate milk will make you feel great in the morning.
What drugs are you doing that you combine that?
It's all of them. All of them.
Can I just say something? Poutine fucking sucks. I gotta say
Nah,
that.
dude, you gotta get the right one. You gotta get a good gravy. If you get shit gravy and shit cheese, it's terrible.
Okay, so
you don't need that
can't be
McDonald's
soggy.
poutine.
You're definitely right
Yeah.
about that. It's the gravy that makes the poutine, I think.
Yeah, you gotta get really good gravy.
See, I'm kind of fucked up now. I don't use gravy anymore. I switched to curry. So you gotta get that nice brown Japanese curry to replace your gravy, and it makes everything better. So maybe maybe that's what you gotta do.
I don't know how that would work with poutine, but hey, it's worth a shot.
I'm telling you, dog. Trust me. Potatoes and curry are great. You were gonna say something, Zero? Sorry.
What was that?
Sorry, you were trying to say something.
I was gonna say there's before anybody takes any innuendo out of this. Have you ever had Mississippi pot roast?
Now, what kind of strange sexual position is that?
All right, it's one of the easiest things you can make. You take, and this does involve gravy. You take a chuck roast. I'm dead serious. This is one of the easiest things you can make. You take a chuck roast, and you take a packet of au jus, like the au jus gravy. You take a packet of Hidden Valley Ranch powder, and then you take like 8 pepperoncinis, and you take probably like a quarter of the juice from the pepperoncinis, and you pour that all over it. You let it slow cook for 8 to 9 hours, and the gravy that comes out of that from like the fat and the meat rendering down, the au jus gravy mix, the ranch mix, and the pepperoncinis and the juice. That is good. And then you just take a little bit of it out. You put a little cornstarch in. Dude, that's the best gravy, period. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we got some very strong thoughts about the gravy and the poutines going on here with
Oh, dude, there's another one you gotta try. Italian poutine.
You know what?
This one's wild.
Go on. Let me hear it since we're already talking about food porn now.
Okay, so you get your fries, obviously.
Right.
You get ground beef cheese curds. Right?
Okay.
You get the ground beef, you spread it amongst with the cheese curds, then you get hot pasta sauce, put it on top. It's actually really fucking good.
When I learned how like Colonel Sanders made his and this was like 20 years ago, and I learned how when I was like maybe more than that, when I was like really learning how to cook it. I've been like adding cayenne pepper to my gravy, my brown gravy at least.
Yeah, that's how you do everything. That's how we cook everything in my house is cayenne powder.
Yeah, just give yourself a couple shakes in brown gravy, and that like that's the best, man.
So I will say this: the best poutine I ever had actually was in Disney World. I know this sounds weird, but they do their little food and wine festival that my wife and I like to go to, and I think they had like duck poutine, which was actually really good.
Duck fat's really good.
Yeah, and
with fries at least.
And Canadian Otis here says cream just stop. It's Quebecois poutine or nothing.
Oh no. The Quebecois poutine is good. It's very, very good. But oh man, dude.
Wait, what?
This is such good shit.
Did Nasber have a stroke?
No, he just really likes Domino's.
No, he called it Yummers. Did he have a stroke and become a Karen?
No, he just thinks it's Yummers.
That's just how those island people talk. The Proto-Americans talk really weird. Ask him what they call fucking whipped cream over there, and then you're gonna realize that they're just not a serious race of people.
They call it semen. It's really weird.
No, they call it something like fucking weird. It's I forget what it was. I just remember.
Man extract.
You never seen The Boys?
No, and I never will.
Which season of The Boys?
The one with dominoes in it.
I don't remember the season. I think I only watched the first two and then I gave up. I'm like it took too long for season 3 for me to care.
You know, the reason I watch The Boys is because I have like this instinct. Like when people told me to watch, watch The Big Bang Theory. That show's so you. And I watched it and I was like, this is literal cancer. And then the same thing happened with The Boys. Oh my God, watch The Boys. That show's so you. And I was like, nah.
Oh, they
And
called
then
it.
now,
I figured it out because I think NASMAR is too Americanized. They call it squirty cream in the UK for whipped cream.
See, that's close enough to man extract.
Well,
It's
you know,
not actually that far off.
I couldn't. I
You know what
just
they
remember
call-
what they called it. I was like, it's something fucking weird, and it was like, oh, squirty cream. There you go.
you know what they call mayo? Like a squirt of mayo over there.
Spotted dick, sir.
No, they literally call it a jizz of mayo.
Hey, there's
Yeah.
Miss Vex Electronica. How you doing, Vex?
I call it that too. That's an unfortunate time they'll pop up
Jesus,
in
man.
chat.
She knew. She's like, someone said jizz, and then here she is.
Someone's
Jizz
talking
of-
about a
Jizz of mayo? Do I hear?
This is what I mean right over here. He calls it the squirty can. We don't call it the squirty can. God damn it! Oh the hell! I can't. I just can't. Say
Oh
that.
fuck.
We'll call it the Kern condenser.
The squirty can. That fucking just got me.
Can I get a jizz of mayo out of my Kern condenser?
You call, I come. God, this fucking went
Oh,
off the
fuck.
rails here. I'm gonna have to bring this back around. All right, I'm going to move on to my game now since we've just.
Speaking of jizz, what game?
Yeah.
All right, so this game I actually just beat. I started it last month, but finished it just I think last week. A spin-off game of the fabled Yakuza franchise, and it's Yakuza Pirates in Hawaii. Side story starring the great fan favorite Majima, Goro Majima.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Yang Ye.
Fuck that guy.
Oh yay!
I've already talked about this guy like last week too. So fuck him just in general because he is the definition of sellout, and he was already a sellout. So that's even funnier. No, but God damn it! Now everyone over here has got me all fucked up in the chat too and everything. God damn it! Fucking Nasper. Well, if there's no squirting, how can you possibly call it squirty cream?
That's a fair point. If it more spurts out, wouldn't it be a spurty can?
Well, because we got like the whipped cream. You just, press the thing and it just spreads out. It doesn't squirt out. It's not like a squirt gun. Just
Yeah, it's not good.
yeah, that's kind of why we don't call it here like that. It's like when we think of squirting, it's like when you take your Windex bottle and you spray a window.
Oh, I thought this was gonna go somewhere else.
No, I know
think
where
a
you're
squirt-
going, but no.
I think of that prostitute I paid $40.
But enough about Maz's mom. She isn't here to defend herself.
It's true.
Exactly. Getting back on talk of it, awkward turtle. All right, so this the game came out last month. Yakuza Pirates in Hawaii. I gotta say, I got really hooked on this game because it just reminded me of like an old school Yakuza game, especially from the last two that were more turn-based RPGs instead of just like action-adventure brawlers. And they really did a good job with this game. My biggest gripe with it, though, is if you focus on just doing all the side content, you're going to just be over-leveled. And it's only 5 chapters, which is incredibly short, because other games have usually been like 10 to 12. So you could get this game done within like 30 to 40 hours, depending on how much work you have in it. But there is one really fun detail in this game, and it is a achievement. I gotta find this one real quick because this was probably one of the funniest stories or side sub stories I played in a Yakuza game, and it had me dying. And let me bring up the achievements here. My achievement list. Um, sorry, dead air.
We can talk more about squirty cans next
You-
for quick.
How about them squirty cans?
How about them squirty cans? That's where we want to go, right? Squirty cans.
Yeah, let me do a tight 5 on squirty cans, like I'm at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
What's the deal with squirty cans?
But right here it says the achievement call is called My Dream Minato Girl. What it is, and one of your crewmates has a dream to date a Minato girl, and I guess from the lore that they explain inside of the Yakuza universe is that these girls are like the high class, like urban Tokyo, well educated women, and you have to like organize a date with like a group of 5 of them, and they all have like different stories. Like one's a cosplayer, one's a politician, one's a streamer, one's an idol. It's all sorts of weirdness, right? And then they cut to like an actual live action TV show with like the actual actor who plays the character in the game and all these girls, and they have like one of the most wacky, insane Japanese like dating shows out there. It's all live action, all right? There's nothing about that one that's, it's not in-game cutscenes or anything. It's an actual like they got their film crew together, they rented out some random hotel room for a night, and then they had like this weird dating show on it, and it is probably one of the funniest things I ever seen, because you can't like really skip the cutscene. There's nothing to interact with it at all, and it goes on for like almost an hour, and it is probably one of the most rewarding things that I've ever experienced in a game, because you have to really work to get this achievement and to complete the subquest. But I loved it so much. I love the pirate ship battles. I liked building up your crew. You could get like the weirdest crew that you can think of that's compiled of like waifus and robots and vagabonds and all this like weird stuff. And you go and just like have these crazy pirate battles. It feels like the One Piece game that a lot of people really wanted. And Majima could not be the better choice for doing that. And it's got a really fun story that involves like this kid named Noah helping Majima get his memories back, and you find out some other people in the Yakuza universe make their reappearance. And the ending is like such a crazy twist that I don't want to spoil it, but like when you get to the ending and you're like, oh damn, there's just some wild stuff that happens in there. And if you played a Yakuza game, there's just all sorts of just crazy side missions and everything else like that you come to expect. One of my favorite ones is that you are in Hawaii and you're basically doing a sub story to help a one of these like virgin idol fans go and experience a day with like this idol, and it's just a giant scam. I absolutely love this game, and the combat is amazing. I love the combat, the combinations that you can do with the Mad Dog and the Sea Dog fighting styles are fun. My favorite thing is just like getting those little weapons. No, not weapons. Getting the little instruments, and you summon like shadow creatures. So you could summon like a group of parrots that cause tornadoes, a giant monkey, a bunch of like jellyfish that cause lightning and to shock your opponents, and sharks. It's fun. It feels like just a good over the top side story in the Yakuza universe, and they set up a good pathway to the next Yakuza game at the end too. It's got its ups and downs in terms of just like an emotional roller coaster for it, but I highly recommend this game too. It's been so fun, and I know it's not on Game Pass yet, but it's on pretty much everything. I will also say this too. If you have a Steam Deck, I played probably about 75% of this game on an actual Steam Deck, and it runs really well on a Steam Deck. So if you are looking for something to have on the go, that's like one thing I can recommend mostly about this game is that it is well optimized to be played on a handheld, and I was blown away by that too.
Yeah, we'll say it is currently on sale. I saw, I think it was CD Keys. I saw it on Slick Deals. It's like $35 right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Let me fact check that real quick.
Fact check. While you're looking that up, Cream, are you a fan of the Yakuza series by any chance?
That's a series I've never gotten into. Every single time someone brings it up, I hear nothing but good things, and they're like, "You have to play this. You have to play through Yakuza." And I'm like, I know. And they just took them off Game Pass too, which is fucked because that's how I was gonna play it. So I will slowly be purchasing the Yakuza games to eventually play them because they do seem like just really fun games. I haven't heard anything bad about them, about the series. People are just like, yeah, this is one of the best series out there. You gotta play it. And so I'm glad to hear that the new Yakuza game is good. I didn't really have any doubts that it was going to be bad. But it's good to see that a lot of people are enjoying it and having a good time with it.
Yeah, I will say that the only Yakuza game that I did not super enjoy was number 3, even though it had its moments. But I can't wait to kind of go back and replay that, only because when I was playing it, I didn't realize that my PlayStation 4 controller was busted, so I had to like fight through that one to get it to work. But I'm currently working my way through 5 right now, and Ishin, which is a completely different game, which is, to call it a Yakuza game would be kind of, not correct, but it is technically a Yakuza game only because it takes place during feudal Japan. Well, not feudal Japan. It's like 1800s Japan, right after America forced it open. And it's got like a very different tone and style. Like, you're actually murdering people in this game too, as well. And the combat's fun in that one, but I can recommend that one as well. And yeah, definitely, Yakuza Pirates like really does incorporate like that fun wackiness of just like being a pirate captain with like over the top Yakuza fun and everything too. It captures the spirit really well, and you get to play as Majima, and Majima's great, you know. And I really hope you get to play those one day, Cream. If anything, you have a PlayStation. I'm willing to send you my PlayStation copies because I'm getting Xbox copies. So if you want to take me up on that offer, I'll send you a package.
Oh man, I might have to. I might have to.
All right. If anything, I'll send you the first one. I'll send you 0, and then you could decide if you want the rest from there. We could compromise. How's that sound?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. We'll talk more about that later. How about you, 0? Did you ever play the Yakuza games? He kind of disappeared.
I will answer on Extra's behalf because he's muted. He says that Yakuza is cool. He likes the fact that you can play as a samurai and as a ninja. He's never played the Yakuza games.
He's like, I liked when they had the black guy in it.
I like the black guy that's in it. I really like the fact that everyone's angry about it or really happy about it.
Yeah, we are. There's no in between. You're either for or against.
Yeah, I either think it's the best or I fucking hate it.
I actually have not. I do have Games Pass. I've never had the time to check them out because I know they're big time sink games. I have seen bits of Infinite Wealth and the the Pirates in Hawaii one looks interesting. I used to love Shenmue, but I put so much time into Shenmue 1 and then Shenmue 2 on the original Xbox. I never got around to Shenmue 3 just because people that are fans of the franchise, people like Happy Console Gamer, who's a huge fan, just really said it's not worth your time. If I had more time on my hands, I would probably check them out because, as much as I like talk about open world games and not liking things being open world, from what I've seen, the Yakuza series is it's like that sort of densely populated small city where there's a lot to do. and you're not wasting your time getting from point A to point B. It's like you're doing quests and combat and side missions and just having fun. And I've seen like every one of these games they put in, and including some Sega arcade games that had never been formally released.
Yeah.
Because what was it Sega Rally that had never been? It was one of them.
It's
It was like the
there's like a few arcade games that are in there. In Yakuza Pirates, they also put a Master System in there as well.
yeah.
And you could play actual games that were both either from Japan or the English version too.
Yeah. Isn't it like Fantasy Zone and Alex Kidd are in it?
Yeah. Like that, there's a lot of fun stuff too. Like the big one obviously is Kamurocho, which is where it usually takes place in, which is I want to say the red light district of the Tokyo area, if I recall correctly. But another thing too about the Yakuza series is like it really opens up like the map to go around and like let me rephrase that. It opens up like the cities of Japan in like later installments. Like you go to Okinawa, you go to I think Hiroshima, you go to Hokkaido. There's another one that I'm currently playing through. Um, I forget the name of it off the top of my head. I know I talked to AC about it if he's ever been there. I think he said yeah. But like the detail that they put into just like the everyday life is really good. Especially like the one city that is in Yakuza 5 where Kiryu's at is really cool because like they get the little details of like the side street vendors that they have working there because the city in particular I watch food bloggers from Japan and they have like these old like 75-year-old guys that still go around in their little bicycle and they set up like these makeshift ramen huts and you can work at the ramen huts on the street sides for these places. It's really cool. Like this whole series is fun. It has like the right amount of like wackiness and over the topness that you expect from like the Japanese manga, but like also like the super serious crime drama in nature. On one hand, like you like a Yakuza game could be perfectly summed up like this. It's like 1 minute I'm cooking ramen, the next minute I'm fighting a fucking bear with my bare hands. No pun intended. And then after that, I'm learning about like my character has like this uncurable illness, and we need to work to try to save his life or something.
And that's like the stuff that only works in video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That daytime TV or manga. That's the only place where this stuff works.
Yeah.
But yeah, love the series. I cannot recommend it enough to anyone. And like I said, you don't have to know the story either. I would say of Yakuza like at all. If you want to play Pirates and test it out for yourself, you can easily play that too. And also, yeah. AC says I need to play the current day one to see how accurate they are. I've only played 0, which is in the 80s, which is a good one too. But I think if I recall correctly, Like a Dragon takes place in Yokohama. So that would be also interesting too. Because let me say this, as a person who's been to Waikiki Beach in Hawaii, they did a really good job capturing downtown Honolulu. So that's also another plus as well. And yeah, he says it best. Yakuza games are basically playable Japanese dramas, which is true. Very true. All right, that's all the thoughts I have for that video game. Cream, would you like to throw out one more before we talk about what we're looking forward to next month?
Okay, this one.
Oh, you got really low.
Oh, what the fuck? Sorry,
All
that's
right,
my
good
bad. Alrighty. For some reason, I think I accidentally lowered my gain like an idiot. I don't know. Okay. So this one is definitely not a new game. All right, this game's like 2 years old or coming up on being 2 years old. It is of a franchise that I always loved the films, except for the one with Samuel L. Jackson. That one was pretty shit.
Snakes on a plane.
And oh, very, very close. This game, I I don't know why I didn't get it when it came out. I think just because, I was like, oh, there's a bunch of other stuff I wanted to play. But I ended up starting to play this game. Now I'm only like 89 minutes in, so I still have a lot more to go. But from what I've played, I've really enjoyed. It has me intrigued and wanting me to get back into it. RoboCop Rogue City.
Hell
Holy shit.
yeah.
I'm fucking loving the 85 minutes I've played of this game. I fucking love that.
Cream, are
I
you
love it.
PlayStation Plus?
No, I got it on Steam on sale. It was like
Oh, okay.
$5 or something for the whole game, and it
I
was
was gonna
like,
say
yeah, I'm
they,
gonna
they
pick this up.
for anybody that has PlayStation Plus, that's the April game. It's one of the April games. So
Yeah,
Man,
that game's been on
I
sale a
just
lot.
have to
Sorry, go on.
I
Sorry,
just have to say, man, this game is it's fucking great. If you haven't played it and you're wondering about playing it, play it. It's great. It's one of my favorite games I played in a while. Um, Now I am just a big fan of RoboCop in general, so there is that. But I think even if you took the character out, the mechanics of the game are solid. It's it's a lot of fun. I love the fact that there's an achievement called I'd buy that for $1. Like just little stuff like that with this game. I really, really like. You can tell that the people who made it really care about the franchise as well. And yeah, I'm excited to play more. Go play RoboCop if you can find it on sale.
I love this game when it came out a couple years ago. It is worth it, and there's the sequel is coming out this year as well.
it's
I-
not a sequel. It's a standalone expansion.
I was told it was an expansion.
It's a standalone expansion. I got into this argument with Lethal, God bless him. But it's like Half-Life Alex. I'm sorry, not Half-Life Alex. It's like Half-Life 2 Episode 1 or Episode 2. It's that sort of smaller experience, but you don't need the base game to play the expansion.
All I know is that I'm hyped for it because you're in for a fucking treat,
Yes.
Cream, when you do it. This is RoboCop 3 because we don't acknowledge that RoboCop 3 exists.
Oh yeah, no, of course not.
Yes, this is everything that you wanted. I would like to say this is what the perfect example of what AA gaming should be,
Absolutely.
and that is what it is. Just mindless, fun, very fun, lore accurate. Lets you get to have fun with like some of your favorite characters from the movies again, all over again. Got Peter Weller back to play actually as Murphy. It's so
They got
great.
everybody back, didn't they?
Well, not everybody. They really just got Peter Weller. Shoot, I forget the name of the actress that played Anne Lewis.
I think
She's-
They got her
she's-
face.
They got her likeness, but yeah, she's long since. They got the likenesses of everybody, like the guy that plays the
Yeah.
old man.
and the police chief.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I was gonna say they didn't get everyone back because some of them sadly have passed on. Obviously,
yeah. Even the guy in the computer room. They got his likeness.
yeah. And
That's just excuses they didn't get the dead people to do voices. Come on, we got AI now. Come on. AI them in. I mean, you don't even pay them. Why not?
Yeah,
I only have like one concern for the expansion, and that's just like is somebody that's like into the RoboCop lore. It's like prior to coming to Old Detroit, Murphy was from a relatively quiet precinct.
yeah.
So
I mean,
again,
Yeah, how that's gonna work out.
you guys see how it works out.
yeah, again, like I even if it's like not canon, I don't care. Like, what they gave us was the best RoboCop experience that they could.
Listen, all I
And-
know is that it was great to get an achievement for shooting someone in the balls. That's all I wanted to get, and we
You
got
know-
it.
The thing I loved about it the most is it reminded me of the old Deus Ex games.
Interesting.
Not the Eidos ones, but like the original, the first two. We were playing as like
Okay.
JC Denton.
Interesting.
Yeah, I never really made that connection.
Yeah, it plays a lot like Invisible War did. Like all of the design in Rogue City just really reminded me of, because like you have like really tight shooting, but then you have like the, okay, you're gonna go into the precinct and you're gonna, or you're gonna go around and investigate, and you have, you can do different things with the the dialogue choices and options and
Yeah, that's true. There is a little bit of light choice-based
RPG. Yeah.
game going on there too. Like I think one of them is you can meet a kid doing graffiti, and then if you let him go, he puts up a big mural to RoboCop.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's a lot of fun with that.
What's the name of the partner? Like, was it like Ulysses Washington? Like you can completely just like put him in the back seat if you. I like the character. Some people found him annoying, but they gave you the choice. And also too, like I think that the gun upgrade system was really underrated. Like you could make that gun, like the trees that you could get if you figured out how that worked. You could get your gun doing some crazy stuff where it was just like, by the end of the game, I didn't even have to reload my gun, and it was just all in full automatic mode with the circuit board upgrades.
Yeah, that's crazy too because I think that I didn't really mess too much with all the gun stuff because I just kind of liked using just the regular gun, just straight up, just mowing down people left and right.
Well, that's what I was talking about. Is using the regular gun. Like you can upgrade that to be the most powerful weapon in the game, your base weapon.
Yeah, they really let you live out that RoboCop fantasy for sure. Um, but yeah, no, check it out. RoboCop Rogue City. It's going to be part of PlayStation Plus next month for PlayStation 5 owners. It's currently on sale for $25 physically on Woot for the Xbox version of it, and it goes on sale quite a lot on resellers like Fanatical or Steam Keys or something like that. It's been out now for a while. If you look around, you can find a good deal on it. And if, like I said, if you're a RoboCop fan, and even if you're not a RoboCop fan, if you like first-person shooters, this is definitely one of those old school kind of feels like an early 2010s kind of game as well. Uh, Definitely go and pick that up. That's a really good one. I can't wait to hear you play more of that, Cream, and I can't wait to hear what your final thoughts about that game is for sure.
I'm excited to keep playing.
Oh yeah, you're gonna love it. The references and everything, and the final boss, you're gonna be like, "Fuck yeah, let's go." So, with that being said, Zero, you have any more final thoughts?
On RoboCop, just that you should play it. I mean, there's also the Terminator Resistance game, and there is a new. So not only are we getting that expansion for Rogue City this year, a standalone expansion, so you don't need the base game. Um, I forget the name of the new one coming out. It's Terminator Survivors, and so that's coming out. Um, it's going to release on Steam first, from what I understand, as an early access title. But yeah, there's that, and it's actually not going to be as much of an. I'm getting some mixed things, like whether or not it's going to be like a campaign based game or if it's going to be a survival game set in that universe, which could be interesting. But you should pick up Terminator Resistance, which was a game that, like RoboCop, went under the radar for a lot of people. It's got those light RPG elements, and it's just a really fun game. It's a love letter to the franchise, and the thing that sucked about that when it released is I think it came out around the time of Dark Fate, and a lot of people just passed on it because of that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's been cool to see Nancon have like this, like finding their footing, like not to derail too much, but it's just funny because back in the earlier days of game development, like people could release games and they could have a string of failures before they found their footing. I mean, like, look, Naughty Dog today is pretty dismal for how they're prioritizing cinematic, failed filmmakers over making a good game. But their first games weren't great either. They had like a Lord of the Rings parody game, and yeah, I'm just glad to see like Teon like find their footing, because these are the same people that came out with that crappy Rambo game from years back, and they
Oh
really
yeah.
redeemed themselves.
Right on, right
Yeah,
on.
that one was rough.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mr. Zero, would you like to take away with your final game before we get on to our features?
Yeah. So every year I replay, and there's not really much to say about this one because well, there is a little bit. Every year I replay Super Metroid. So I've been doing my yearly play of Super Metroid. I kind of feel like there's got to be like one game that even if you're not a speed runner, that like you have, and I know Donkey Kong Country Returns is an old game, and I mentioned it's a comfort food game, but my ultimate comfort food game and a game that I make a point to do a complete playthrough, not 100% items, but just start to finish every year is Super Metroid. And I think I'm going to start mixing it up and doing Metroid Dread because that's my second favorite 2D Metroid.
Mm.
I think that game deserves a replay. But yeah, I've just been going through my replay of Super Metroid. I do own it physically, but I've been playing on my analog pocket because I have the Super Nintendo Core, so I've been playing it, on an FPGA device, and just I always enjoy my time with that game. I'm about to fight Fantoon and wrap up the game for the year, but that's just my final one that I've been working my way through.
Yeah, all right, cool. I know I have never played the Metroid games, so I don't really
Oh
have.
wow.
Yeah, I just
Um,
never did.
I would say the best entry point for you is Zero Mission. So if you have Switch Online, I'm pretty sure you can play it there.
I have it physically.
You have it physically. So Zero Mission's a great entry point, not only because it's a pretty game and is very accessible for somebody that's never played a Metroid game before, but it's also very short. Like you can clear it in like 4 hours first playthrough
Hmm.
because it's not a super easy game, but you realize the biggest like chink in the armor of the original Metroid is not having a map. When you have a map and you have markers to tell you, hey, go here, go there, go there, the game becomes pretty straightforward and linear. Not in a bad way. It's a really fun game, and again, it's probably the most beautiful game on the GBA. Period. Um, but between the music and the art and the gameplay, it'll hopefully leave you wanting more Metroid. If you were to play Metroid 2, God, I have a hard time recommending Metroid 2 between the remake or the original. I would say you just do Zero Mission and go right into Super Metroid. Because the opening cutscene of Super Metroid tells you everything you need to know about Metroid 2.
Okay. How about you, Cream? Have you played the Metroid games?
No, I never got into those games. I've heard good things, obviously. I mean, I've seen enough of the gameplay to be like, oh, that looks actually pretty interesting, and I'd like it. It's just one of those things that was never on my radar to play.
Yeah, I definitely need to get right into that eventually.
Yeah.
It's just finding time and doing everything else like that. It's tough. Like
Yeah.
like everyone's saying, it's just tough to find time. Even though I have the game, it's just like you got to get up the willpower sometimes.
Like I said, I think Zero Mission's a game that if you have like a rainy Saturday, just try and remember it. You can clear it in a sitting, and then that'll be your litmus for whether or not you want more like that. Angry Canadian does say, AM2R, which is another Metroid 2 remake, which is really good. I actually have that file, so if you do get into it and want to try it, that's probably the better way to play it. But it does that thing where you have like, and Metroid Dread is the only one that does this mechanic, like the free aiming, like you can aim in any direction, where I think it works.
Yeah.
Mercury Steam was a developer that I wasn't really fond of until they did Metroid Dread, and then I was like, okay, they got it.
Yeah, hold on.
Um,
I'm getting shit talked here by uh, an uppity man that lives in Japan. Says tough to find time. Meanwhile, the man's beaten 14 games this year. Well, at least I've beaten 14 games over here, where you have 14 fucking games started at once, Mr. AC. Right? I see what you do on Fuse. I see how many games you have started. So this is gonna be a deep cut. But did you guys ever watch Jimmy Neutron as a kid?
yeah, well,
Yes.
I wasn't a kid when Jimmy Neutron was out.
Just go along with it. Let's go with it, old man.
Yes, as a young adult, I watched Jimmy Neutron.
Do you remember that Jimmy Neutron had like a villain whose like big weakness was that he never finished jack shit?
Yeah, vaguely, yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
that's AC over here. All right. Well, that's cool. I know that I was challenged to play Metroid Prime Remake, so I gotta do that eventually. And you're getting called old by Asmer, so there we go, or Nasmer.
Yeah, well, he is old though. Extra is old as shit.
The funny part
There's
is,
mummies that have like 30 years younger than him, dude. Like it's bad.
There's 10-year-old mummies.
you know
Yeah.
that caveman they found in the ice. Extra Zero was friends with him in high school.
That's true.
Yeah, they were friends.
He said, if I recall correctly, you said he was a punk.
He was, and
And
that's
it
how
was
he
of
got
the
his ass in the
romantic.
ice.
The thing was, it was of the romantic variety too. It was some spicy things were going down. That's all I can say.
Look, he got too hot and he needed to be put on ice.
There you go.
Oh, got him.
Yeah, you know what's funny though? Like, just to kind of put this out there, my brother is older than Zero by 13 years, which I think is hilarious to think about. And on top of that, too, I just became a great uncle at the age of 33, so I feel very old every day.
Wow, that is nuts.
I know, right? My God bless my mother. She finally became a great grandmother, so she got to live to at least say that.
It's surreal because I don't feel or look my age at all, and it's just like my biggest fear is like, will this shit catch up with me?
Yeah, eventually it always does.
There's only one way to find out, buddy.
I know, right?
Yeah, Vex, I'm a great uncle. My niece just gave birth to her first child today or yesterday. I forget. But yep, she's a proud mother of a little baby boy. So congratulations to my niece.
Yeah.
But what Carl is base. Carl is base. He likes regular show. Haha. That almost gave me a stroke trying to read that. I tried really hard. I am old.
That's how you know you're based.
Oh, thank you, Vex. I appreciate that. Yeah, they gave him like a weird Zoomer name. I'm not gonna kind of disclose that, but I just thought it was kind of
It's
weird
like
one.
Chidarius or something, right?
Well, no, she didn't marry a black man, but
Oh,
I'll tell you guys
shit.
after the stream. It's funny.
Wait,
funny.
that's a black person? Oh no, I gotta talk to some people. I made some big mistakes here. Oh no.
Okay, so I'm gonna go and talk about my final games, and then we'll spend the last bit of this looking forward to the month of April and what games we are looking forward to. Mine's a twofer, only because they are very short, and it's only a two-part, a duology. I guess that's the correct term, right? And I recently just beat both Transformers: War for Cybertron and Fall for Cybertron. And I gotta say, both of those games are very fun. I wouldn't say that they lived up to the hype some people made them out to be. Like, some people talk to me like they're the greatest damn thing since sliced bread. But when I played them, I was like, oh, these are very fun games, but they weren't like that next level type of thing. Like, if I had to tell everyone what to expect for them, kind of treat it like a summer blockbuster, Go in there, eat some popcorn, and have some good times. Get used to like all the like fun lore and Transformers they have in there. Like, they had a wide variety of Transformers. Some of them I even forgot about too. One of my favorite ones that they introduced there, his name was Metroplex, and he's in the second one. And Metroplex is just a giant gun base that city, and it's so cool. He's just huge, and he just messes everything up. But one of the fun things about it is like it plays just like I would say like Space Marine, like the first Space Marine that came out for PS3 and 360. It's kind of got a little jank. The controls are all third person. The transforming is all right in the first game, but the sequel, Fall Cybertron, I think they just take everything and kind of just fix it and make it better. Like the gunplay, the mechanics, controls, the transforming mechanics, and just like the people that they add into it, like Grimlock, right? That's his name, Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when they add in Grimlock and then is it Bruticus, right?
Yeah, yeah. So Bruticus is the combiner.
Yeah. They have a special name, right? It's like Combinatrons or something like that.
Well, they're the Combaticons. And
Combaticons, that's it. Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah, I got good thing I got the Transformer nerd out here too to help me stumble through here. But yeah, they have like a wide variety of characters, and you get to play as both the Autobots and the Decepticons, which I thought was really cool, especially because like the first half of Fall War for Cybertron is you only play as the Decepticons. So you get to play like the entire Decepticon story. You get to play as Starscream. You get to play as Megatron. Not Soundwave. It's who what, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. It's some of the more famous ones, like the one that turns into like the speed car. I think Steve Blum is the voice actor too for that one, if I recall
Oh,
correctly.
well, that's not more of a famous one. They basically they put Barricade in there,
Yeah,
but Barricade was kind of so Barricade in G1 was kind of nothing, and then they kind of picked the name out of the hat when they did the 2007 movie. So yeah, they basically gave Barricade a larger role in that universe.
I'm thinking of Armada because I think he was the same one in Armada.
Um, I can't remember. I can't remember what Barricade was in Armada.
I'm thinking of Sideswipe. That's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, well, side there. Yeah, so Sideswipe was a an Autobot primarily, and then in Armada they had Wheeljack, which looked like Sideswipe and was Armada had its own story. A lot of the characters were just characters in name only, but yeah, Barricade was definitely given kind of a spotlight role to be his kind of own thing in War for Cybertron. And in G1 he was just a little and G1 being Generation 1, he was a little micromaster. He was like one of the kind of like cheap transformers that kids would get.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, like
That
I
was
said.
I put it in chat, but there's the G1 Barricade.
Oh, you put in.
Holy shit! What the fuck is that?
Yeah,
That
he
looks
was.
like shit.
Yeah, well, I mean,
That looks like the
again,
McDonald's toy.
these were you got to remember these were trying to compete with micro machines back in the early 90s. That was like the niche they had carved out. Like, hey, let's create inexpensive transformers that are the size of micro machines cars. And then
Okay,
they had their own
that's
like
good.
transforming play
Understand.
sets, and they were perfect for like the city bots like Metroplex and Tripticon and Fort Max and all of those, because you could actually have those like those city bots from the original toy line weren't very big. But as a kid, you remember them being bigger.
I just think that it looks like that really shitty Beast Wars collaboration that they had with McDonald's. That's what I think.
Yeah, those were definitely a thing of their time. Now, I will put it in chat as well. But there's a third party company called Lewin Resources that made a very like comic and Fall of Cybertron coded um, Metroplex, and it's 4 foot tall.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I wanted that Unicron that they were crowdfunding too for the longest time.
I have one.
I know. I said I wanted it though.
Yeah, you should give it to him.
Yeah, send it to me.
Yeah.
So I can take a picture and then send it back.
I feel like that would be stupidly expensive to ship.
How
Oh, no,
heavy
it's
is
okay.
it?
You got this.
It all depends by weight. That's really what it comes down to.
And girth.
Thickness.
Weight, girth, and thickness. Those are the three stats that the U.S. Postal Service cares about.
I know. I always find it weird when they ask me that question. I'm like, can I pull my pants up now and just give you my package?
Say no, 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 no. You gotta keep it down there for a bit.
How about you, Cream? Have you played these games at all?
No. Absolute no, I haven't played any of them.
Now, do you not like Transformers or what is it?
No, well, as a kid, no, I hated it. I hated the first movie for some reason. Then I went back and watched it. And I'm like, it's
When you
all
say the
right.
first
It's
movie,
all right.
the Michael Bay movie.
Yeah, not the animated.
Yeah,
I'm not that old. That's prehistoric for me, bro. It's that's prehistoric.
The original animated movie is tops, but you should watch Transformers 1. I will say that.
Yeah, I ended up watching it, and my boy Bernie Mac is in it. So
Rest in peace,
it's
Chicago
basically the
great
greatest.
Bernie Mac.
Yeah, greatest film ever made, basically, in my opinion, at least. Yeah, I never ended up playing those games, Fall Cybertron. It's one of those other things where it's just a blind spot where it's like everyone says this is like really awesome, and I've refused to play it so far, not because I don't like it, but because I am mentally challenged.
I mean, I can understand why. They're also super expensive on a 360. I think they're also cheaper on the PS3 still. But
Yeah,
also,
PS3 is a better place to find them.
at
I
least
think
for
a
price.
lot of
That's what it is. At least for price.
yeah. I mean, they did recently have Amazon just came out with a bunch of codes, and I think you could get like I don't know what happened, but it was like last month. I don't know if you remember. Amazon just had like all these delisted games come back up for like their original retail prices or less than. And everybody, myself included, was like, "Oh my god, does this mean that they're going to reissue or this is the Microsoft thing starting?" And no, it wasn't.
Another thing too is like it has popped up on the PlayStation Store. Like at least one of them, right?
Yeah.
Fall of Cybertron.
Yeah.
Muted.
Seems like they wanna put it out there, but they just kind of are half-assing it a bit.
I think that they're waiting for something. If we don't hear something by, you know, early June when they do their little Xbox event that they're going to happen, something must have went wrong with the contract. That's what I feel like it would be.
What's crazy is Hasbro's been putting out new toys for the Studio series, and I've mentioned this on Gronking a few times, where they have like the War and Fall of Cybertron and the Transformers Devastation characters all getting new figures with the logos of the games on the packaging.
Interesting.
And I'm like, it's just weird. I mean, it's not the first time. Like Hasbro is terrible when it comes to releasing stuff to correspond with the related media. It's been like that since the Last Night.
Right.
Like when they had the Netflix series come out, they had to basically reissue a whole bunch of the figures because they were already on Earthrise when they were doing the Siege anime. So they had to do like a Walmart exclusive batch of characters. Is the dumbest thing.
It's multi-billion-dollar companies, man. They just
Yeah.
never
And
know.
if you watch my stream, I bitch about the fact that they're doing crowdfunding. It's like, well, you're the biggest toy company in the world, and yet you're doing crowdfunding campaigns for sets that would sell in brick and mortar retail.
Yeah, that's mentally deranged.
I can understand it from a perspective.
Unicron made sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Unicron.
Yeah. But like the 2001 series was technically came out in Japan in 2000. They did Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus from Robots in Disguise as a crowdfund set. And it's like, why? There are people they were like 5 years old when that show came out, and now they're like 30 with disposable income. You don't have the confidence that you could release those figures at brick and mortar retail, yet you're going to release Magmatron, which was a Japanese exclusive only character, as a $90 figure in the States to sell at brick and mortar. I'm like, the hell?
Shit make no sense. There you go.
It makes zero sense.
Yeah, makes zero sense. I wish I could understand sometimes the people who run these companies. That's for sure.
I study it in autistic detail, and most of the time I can't make sense of it.
Yep. Uh, it's just insane.
You do we did talk about this. You also do own the beat 'em up from Platinum on 360, right?
Yes, I do. I actually did pick up that one as well. What's it called again?
Devastation.
Devastation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that as well. So that I plan to play that one eventually too. But currently, right now, there's other games that are high up on that list, and some that are coming out soon that I'm also looking forward to as well. But yeah, those War for Cybertron, Fall for Cybertron, very fun, very good popcorn games. You know, just go and check them out if you can find them for a decent price. They're fun. They just remind me of like that good old AA jank, and I do recommend that Fall of Cybertron is the game that is the better of the two. That's my personal opinion. And they could be fun couch co-op games too. Got to mention that as well. So with that being said, fellas, April's almost here, and we're kind of winding down the show right now. So Cream, I'm going to lead it off with you to kind of give us a thought. What is a video game that you're looking forward to that comes out next month in April that you are looking forward to hearing more about? Or even just tomorrow or next week too, because there's still some games coming
Oh
out.
well, tomorrow that would be my answer. Is Atomfall. That's one I'm really excited to get into. I'm a big Fallout fan. I fucking love Fallout. It feels like I don't know. It feels like a spiritual, not successor, but a spiritual kindred spirit. I guess of Fallout. It's its own thing. I'm excited to get into it. From what I've seen, it looks decent. I haven't seen anything that makes me look at it and be worried, so I'm just excited to get into it. It's on Game Pass, which is always nice. It means you don't have to fork out that full price. But if I end up liking it, definitely gonna have to purchase that one and keep it in my library for good. So that's one I'm really, really excited for. And that comes out in like 11 hours or something like that. So
It comes out
Yeah.
exactly tomorrow. I think you can. I saw the pre-download. Did you pre-download it yet?
oh yeah. I got that all squared away here. I'm ready.
I think it was like what 30 gigabytes, correct, or something like that. I don't think it was that huge actually.
Not a big game.
No, it's not that big.
No, it's Rebellion too, right? That's the studio making
Yep.
it.
I believe
It's Rebellion.
so. Let me check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and they're known for more of like that sniper elite zombie army games, right?
Oh, but I will always know them for Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, they did do that, didn't they?
Yeah.
Ah. There was another game they made that I think I saw recently that I was like, oh, this is a Rebellion game, but I completely forgot what it was. So I don't know if it was that good or not. That's another thing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one too. I saw the reviews had it kind of at that average kind of like, yeah, this is fun, but it's not like a masterpiece or going to blow your mind type of games. So I'm looking forward to your thoughts about it. I know Vex is excited for it in the chat as well. I got mine pre-downloaded. I'll probably wait maybe like until mid-April to play it because there's another game I'm more interested in playing that comes out relatively soon as well. But I've also been playing Yakuza Ishin, so I'm also going to be playing a lot of that as well. So yeah, I can't wait to kind of check that out and hear some more thoughts from you on Gronking and just in general, because yeah, it looks like the concept a lot of people like Fallout in London, and can't really go wrong with that. Um, how about you there, Zero? Are you interested in playing this game too?
I might check it out on Games Pass and just see what it's like. I've heard that it's again like Fallout in London, but it's a smaller experience, and if it's going to be a smaller experience that like is feasible for me to tackle, I might give it a try. But I'm not like the biggest Souls fan, but I talked to Lethal about this. Like Kazan, the first Berserker, comes out tomorrow, and I know I like the demo. I like the art style. It felt really good. So I'm considering picking that up and just plowing my way through it until Doom: The Dark Ages comes out, because that's the game I'm really excited for.
Yes, rip and tear.
Especially since it bridges the gap between Doom 64 and Doom 2016.
I can't wait for that too. That's comes out around my birthday time. I got the collector's edition as like a little treat for myself, so cannot wait for sure to get that one as well. Also comes with the disc physically, which is also a reason why I bought it.
Did you see for Indiana Jones, the collector's edition on PlayStation actually comes with a disc? Like
Yeah,
they
I
did
did see that.
Xbox so dirty on that. I was like, what?
Yeah, I thought,
That's their game.
I thought
It's
that
their
was weird
game.
too. Yeah, especially, but also a lot of people were bitching because you need it online to download
Well,
the PS5
it's
game as
their
well.
it's their game though, but Cream, the Death Stranding 2 collector's edition doesn't come with a disc, so Sony does the same thing on their end. Like, what
Oh fuck! They've got it all ass backwards.
yeah, it's like,
It's like, what the hell's going on around here?
yeah. I just think if you're doing a collector's edition and you're giving physical goods, like, assume those people want the disc.
Exactly. It's so weird because Sony's been doing that a lot with their collector's edition because God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man, and even Horizon Forbidden West did not come with a disc. It came with a steelbook, but no disc.
Yeah, they come with the steel because they want those people, they want the whales to go and buy a second copy so they can put the disc in there. Although I can't remember how I got the steelbook for Ragnarok, but I have a physical copy of Ragnarok in a steelbook. I can't remember what the whole circumstance was for that.
Yeah, I remember I bought those games again, but that's when they were like on super deep sale, so it's like, it's $10. Who gives a shit? And then dude over here says physical copy should always come with the disc. It's the entire reason consoles are still relevant. And then Angry Canadian says, "Man, unless Nintendo announces something crazy dropping in April/May, I could take a break from buying new releases."
There is a Switch, original Switch, direct in the morning, so I'm curious if they're going to announce anything of merit in that. Any stealth drops?
I don't think they're gonna have stealth drops, but I think they're gonna plan out for the rest of their summer, and of course, obviously maybe early fall. I don't know. It all depends because there's rumors right now that they're saying that Switch 2 will be dropping in May.
It's June. I can guarantee you with incredible. I'll tell you off stream how I know, but I can tell you with certainty it's June.
Like I said, it's going to be relatively soon, basically, just one way or the other.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, we'll know the exact date in literally 7 days.
Yeah, AC. I always get worried about stuff drops.
But yeah, I can say I do have a source, and if it's not June, then I'll be like, okay.
It's his dad. He works for Nintendo.
No.
Yeah.
But it is a
His
familial.
His uncle's Dr. John Nintendo, the inventor of Nintendo.
My great uncle is David Bowser. All right, current CEO.
Oh shit.
But yeah, you have any more final thoughts on Atomfall there, Mr. Creamy?
No, just I'm really, really excited for it, man. I can't wait. I was kind of hoping that it would come out at midnight my time so I could get in and play it a little bit before I head to bed, but I gotta wait, sadly.
One more day, and then it'll be here. So that's at least a plus.
I don't know if I can do it. I might snap. I might go on Twitter and start promoting shit that I don't like. I might go full grums.
You're just gonna be edging the entire night.
Yeah.
Beans and
It's not
toast.
good. How am I gonna sleep edging this much? God damn.
Toads in a hole. Spray cream.
Toads in the wet sprocket.
Oh no.
Bangers and mash.
What year is it? What year is it? 1997? Holy shit.
You weren't even alive then.
No, I wasn't.
But I was.
Yeah, you were, you old sack of shit, you geriatric fuck.
I was 6.
How would you go? How would you go listen to Hootie and the Blowfish?
Maybe I will.
Nah, he was listening to
What was it?
Tool. That's what he was
Like,
listening to.
Twin sis,
I
you
can't
know,
even
twin
remember what I was
purses.
listening to in '97. I think I was listening to Stone Temple Pilots back then.
Nah, he was listening to Spin Doctors.
We were listening to Nirvana. You were really bummed when Kurt Cobain blew his brains out.
Everybody was bummed.
He was
when Kurt
bummed for
died.
years by that point.
But no, Spin
Funny.
Doctors only had like 2 songs, and one was catchy and the other one was shit.
Yeah.
A buddy of
And
mine.
now you have to justify which one's catchy and which one's shit because
Look, it's Two Princes is the catchy one, but it's still shit. A buddy of mine went to Disney with his wife years back, and they were playing somewhere, and everybody just got drunk and just kept demanding they play Two Princes over and over.
They
Because
do
that's the only
that.
song anyone knows.
They do that at the food and wine festivals. That they'll get like some of the more like forgotten yesteryear bands. Like what was one of them, Sandra? Was it like Boys to Men or something like that,
Oh,
or
God.
98 Degrees or something like that?
Oh, that's awful.
Fuck, what was that one? So I saw Blues Traveler once at a shithole in Baltimore. They were doing a free concert, and there's that one song that sounds like Blues Traveler, but it isn't.
Okay.
And people are yelling it, and John Popper's like, "I'm not that guy."
Holy shit.
You've made it, guys. Nobody knows who the fuck you are confused with someone else.
Yeah, you were just out there smoking bath salts at a fish concert, weren't you? Extra, you fucking freak.
I never understood the appeal of fish. I'm being honest here.
Nor have I. It's just for people that basically fucked
Autism.
their cousin, kicked a hacky sack, and ate a lot of Ben and Jerry's. That's what fit.
It's for rich boomers who also did acid as kids and they can't let it go.
Yeah, it's for people who wanted to be into the Grateful Dead, but they were all fucking old as shit by the time they came around.
Shit, is John
No,
Popper?
we got fish.
I don't know who the fuck these bands are.
Is John Popper dead? I think so.
My
no,
wife's
he's not.
reading
Jesus.
off lists of bands.
And
that
he's only
performed.
57. Ah.
Oh my god. Is he less fat now or
I don't know. Like, damn. Like, and when I saw him, he like looked like he was like on death's door.
he looked like he was on death's door immediately when he showed up. He did not look well.
He looked like somebody paid Meatloaf to do an impersonation of John Candy.
Fuck.
There you go.
Rest in peace, Meatloaf.
And John Candy.
Yeah,
That's a wild. He looks like he's about to go fucking fishing. Like
he's got a tackle box full of like sliders,
harmonicas and shit.
It's like there's like a harmonica, a couple bobbers.
he looks like Carlos Santana
Worms.
just got eaten up by fucking John Candy.
A tourist at fucking Machu Picchu.
It looks like Carlos Santana got out of rehab for food addiction.
This looks like John Candy put on Carlos Santana as a skin suit and just didn't fit properly.
He had the Fortnite. He bought the Fortnite skin of
He's gonna hit the gritty.
I want to see John Popper hit the gritty during run around.
That's funny. All right, so getting back on track here. Zero, what are you looking forward to?
Well, so for me, like I said, it's just Berserker. Adam Falls apparently 15 to 20 hours, so that might bump it up, and then Doom Dark Ages in May.
Okay. Why are they interesting to you? Give a little bit more
So,
time for that.
Berserker's interesting because I'm not, like I said, I'm not the biggest Souls fan, but I think the art style and the premise is pretty interesting. It also too kind of like simplifies the weapons. Like you have 3 weapons that you can switch between: the the dual blades. You can do the long sword and a lance or a spear. And it just seems like it's pretty straightforward. And again, like I'm kind of a sucker for really good cell shading. I don't know much about that like DNF universe that it takes place in. But again, it looks interesting. Atom Fall, I watched Game Ranks review of it, and say what you will about Jake Baldino, but I think he does pretty good game commentary, like when he sticks to games. Um, and his tastes tend to align with mine quite a bit. So I'm interested to just see what it is, and there's no risk since it's on Games Pass. I can just preload it on my Xbox and check it out at some point this weekend. And Doom: The Dark Ages, I'm just really interested in because I love Doom and I love what they've done with bringing Doom back. I wasn't the biggest fan of Eternal, but that's not to say I hated Eternal. I just didn't think it was as good as Doom 2016. And Dark Ages, I'm just curious about the direction they're going in. It looks like they're getting really creative with the weapons. I mean, like you have that one gun that just grinds up skulls and shoots shrapnel. And I know like a lot of people are kind of concerned about how the shield will work, but I think it's probably just going to be a sub for the chainsaw. With the contextual presses. It's literally how the chainsaw worked in Eternal, so I'm sure they're probably just keeping that mechanic around. Though I preferred the way the chainsaw worked in 2016, where it was kind of like a get out of jail free card. Whereas, what did it do in Eternal? It restored your. Was that one for ammo? And glory kills were for health.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Fuck. My wife was distracting me. I think glory kills were for health, and then like the chainsaw was for ammo. Yes. Hello.
Yeah, you cut out there. You said I think the chainsaw.
Chainsaw was
think
for ammo, and glory kills was
Yeah.
for health.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm super excited about that one too. But that's more of a May game, so luckily we got some time before that hits.
Yeah. May 15th, so halfway through the month. And then, of course, if Nintendo does drop Metroid Prime 2 remastered tomorrow, then all bets are off, and that's what I'll be playing. But I doubt it.
Or if they drop Genealogy of the Holy Ark for a remake, I'll be right there too. Because that's definitely a Fire Emblem game I've really wanted to play. But yeah, no, those are some good games that for sure. I Atom Fall. Can't wait to hear more about that for sure.
Or if they do Luigi's Mansion HD, I would without hesitation, because I had been playing that on my Raspberry Pi.
I actually played that
game.
last year too on my GameCube for the first time in forever.
Oh,
Great,
wow.
Great game. I did a whole playthrough on this channel actually. I was actually shocked at how much I fucking suck at that game because I kept opening up the doors that kill you. I did it so many times, and I felt like I was just retarded every time I did it because I'm like, I know it's fake, but I have gaming autism, so that means I gotta check all the doors, locks under everything. It's Skyrim kind of ruined me for that reason because I just want to pick up everything. I hate it so much. And no, we are not going to sing 24-Hour Cinderella for you. Sorry, that's gotta pay for that.
We gotta now.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Gotta pay for it. And I'm not monetized, so you can't pay for it. So there we go. Perfect. Can't do it now.
That's the loophole.
I can't whore myself out because I have no ability to whore myself out like that. Thank God. All right, I will kind of round this out then, I guess, with one of the games that I'm looking forward to that comes out next month. I did pay the $10 upgrade fee to get the early access because it also is coming to Games Pass as well. And that is South of Midnight by Compulsion Games. It's been on my radar for quite some time from the first time it was introduced in that little teaser trailer. I have a very huge love for that Nightmare Before Christmas, Tim Burton-esque art style. I know it's not for everyone to do the whole Spider-Verse, Spider-Man, like, slow down and stuff like that you can turn off unless it's in the cutscenes, I hear. Initial previews for it have been just okay, from what I can read from between the lines. Some people have hated it, some people have liked it. I am just very interested in playing this game. I want to know just how fun it is. I cannot wait to actually get my hands on it. I think it comes out April 8th, but you get 5 days early access if you pick it up. Or if you pay the $10 charge fee, which I did because I'm not buying the game anyway. It's on Game Pass, and I just kind of want to play it and get out of the way. I hear that it's roughly between 8 to 15 hours for completion on that one as well. So it is a relatively short game, and I can't wait to sit down and play it. The concept of being a weaver, which is what Hazel is in the lore. I can't wait to explore more of the Deep South and the mythos of American Deep South lore, which I actually do kind of enjoy. And I just hope it's not over the top preachy. That's the best way to say it, because I know that there's been some involvement with some less than fan favorite studios like Sweet Baby Inc. and everything's been involved in it. But just so far, everything about this game just like hits every note for a game like I would enjoy. And I do believe that if you see a game that you think you're going to like, you should give it a try, especially because it's on Game Pass. And if you pay for the service, this is why you pay for the service, to find out if you like a game. And then if you're also like me, go out and buy it later for support. I don't know what you guys' opinions about South of Midnight are. So you guys would like to add something to that?
It's a game where I'm not quite sure what to think. Because it's on Game Pass, I might give it a try, but I don't have a lot of hope for it from what I've seen. I see a lot of people making stupid arguments against it as well, which is just dumb. I think there's enough there if you really want to argue if it's a good or bad game. There's enough of content of the game to argue that. And I'll be interested to see if maybe I'll end up being proven completely wrong, which would be nice. I like that from like stuff like Split Fiction, where everyone's like, "No, the game's great," and I thought that was going to be kind of trash. So that's my hope, is that they prove me wrong.
For me, it's going to be one that again it would have to get really good word of mouth for me to and I look forward to seeing what your thoughts are on it. I've played their previous games. Contrast was a game that I got for free when I picked up PS4, and it's been given to me time and time again on PC. I've never played it on PC, but I just wasn't a big fan of it on there. I was really excited for We Happy Few, and I was actually back when Xbox was doing early access, I paid for We Happy Few, and I got it when it was believe it or not, it started off as a survival game, and then it eventually became what it was, and I did not like what I played. So given my previous history with them, especially with We Happy Few, I really don't have any interest in this one.
I can understand that. I just, like I said, I'm willing to give it a chance because it hits all those right notes with me. So I will
I,
definitely let you know how I feel about it.
I will say they are being smart in what they're doing with a really underused backdrop for games. Like a game that a platformer that nobody really talks about, and even though it was a collectathon, was Voodoo Vince, and that game's got its fans, and doing stuff in like the Bayou, the Deep South. I think I can only think of like a couple games. Like Infamous 2 was a game that took place in like a fictional Louisiana, New Orleans hodgepodge, and I think that it is smart to do like a game in that sort of backdrop, but 'cause, again, it's very underutilized, and there's a lot you can do with it. Um, but again, just given the backstory, I'm not the backstory, the backlog of this developer, I just don't really have too much of an interest myself.
Right on, right on. Like I said, I understand why uh, that is the case. It's not exactly a game that like really speaks to everyone, so I understand it. But I will try it. If it's good, I'll let you know. You know me. If
Yeah.
I like something, I will definitely go out there and let my opinions be heard. Definitely This gypsy doesn't keep his fucking mouth shut. You know, everyone knows that one really well. But yeah, no, this was fun, guys. This was really fun. I definitely gotta go check out those games that you mentioned, Bannerlords and Repo. Those look really fun, and yeah, those definitely have made a wish list for sure. So with that being said, you guys have any closing thoughts? What you like to shill or something? Cream, how about you? Would you like to shill first?
Well, the shilling to this, the senior citizen of the group, Extra Zero.
So yeah, like of course, go watch Grunking on Dogs, the #1 hashtag greatest gaming podcast.
You fucked it up. You fucked it up.
I did.
That was
I fucked it
bad.
up.
Ooh.
The #1 hashtag gaming podcast.
The hashtag #1 non-shilling gaming podcast. You fucking dog.
See, you got it.
Yeah, there you go.
Sunday through Thursday, if you're in the Western world, going live at 5 Eastern. So check the show out. A lot of fun. I do my show 0 Hour. I do if you're into collecting like Transformers or anything involving giant robots. I tend to talk about those. I go live every Tuesday at 9. I actually postponed my show yesterday. I had some stuff come up, and so I'll actually be going live tomorrow at 9. But yeah, just kind of do a live show, keep it to an hour, and just talk about everything that's going on in the world of Transformers and what I think and feel about it. Funny enough, there was like next to no news last night, and that was like why I canceled. And then today, news dump. So I'm like, all right, I got a lot of ammo, so it's gonna be a fun show tomorrow. And I also do additional content. And Mr. Angry Canadian hooked me up with the Evangelion McDonald's crossover figures, and Carl was kind enough to get those my way, and I did it's kind of a review, but more of an impressions video, and I unboxed those things, and
yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
They were so fucking cool. I was so fucking jealous, man, when I saw those, because I thought they were just gonna be rinky-dink little toys, and then like I get this package, and it's like this really premium, nice giant thing. Like the fucking Transformers are actually like the size of a Big Mac, if not bigger.
Yeah, they're life-size food.
I'm just like, oh, this fucking sucks. It's like $100 now on eBay if you want to buy like the exact same copy.
Yeah, and that's it's nuts. It's really nuts.
Yeah, shout out Mr. AC over there, and who's basically turned me into his North American shipping depository. Because that's all I do is get his packages and then ship them out to Canada and other parts of the United States. But no, it's really cool. I was impressed when I got like the whole package, but I was also even more impressed when I saw those unboxing. They were a lot better than I thought they were going to be. That's for sure. Dead air.
Yep.
Angry Canadian asks if I have a channel. Yeah, but I don't really use it much. There's no point in promoting it. I don't do anything on it. I think I did like 2 streams, and then I was like, "Nah, I'm busy."
Yeah. No, I feel you sometimes. I go like, man, I'm more of a the assist guy than the goal scorer.
Yeah, I ain't no Ronaldo. I'm the guy behind Ronaldo who's going way whenever he scores.
I still can't believe Ronaldo's in King of Fighters. That's just the
That's the greatest thing to ever happen in gaming.
That made me laugh so hard.
I laughed, but I'm like, hey, I like guest fighters in games, and I'm like, look, that's gonna get people to get interested in King of Fighters, whether we think it's funny or not.
Right on, right on. Oh, why'd you hit me? My wife just walked me. Call the cops. Domestic abuse. No, she says.
No, domestic abuse is cool.
When it's a woman doing it to a man, yes.
Yeah. Oh, maybe sometimes the other way around too.
I mean,
depends on what we gotta take this case by case here. Let's not get hasty here.
I mean, if she's into it, it's not domestic abuse, right?
Yo, shout out to Andrew Tate, guys.
Oh my god. That guy's so fucking
If
weird.
you looked at Twitter in the last hour, you'll know what I mean.
Wait, what happened? You gotta explain this now.
Fucking, he's facing sexual assault allegations,
Hell yeah.
including beating his girlfriend in LA. So, yeah, not a good time in the Tate household, is it?
Not a good time for the quartering either.
I saw
Oh,
that
the-
too. He's $300,000 in debt, and I'm like, hell yeah,
What
let's
the
go.
Fuck? How do you get that much debt as a normal person?
I don't
What the
know.
fuck?
Because he went way too hard on the coffee business.
Oh, it's shit coffee, yeah.
Yeah. It's actually it was actually pretty decent coffee, but
Shit business.
shit business, yeah.
Can I just be honest with you guys? I have to apologize because he's from the Midwest, and as a representative of the Midwest, I apologize for the quartering.
Nah, but he's from like what, Wisconsin? That's not even
Yeah.
a real place.
I mean, I'm from Illinois, so we would rather be known as Wisconsin people some days, all right?
Wisconsin's just shitty Canada, isn't it?
No, that's Minnesota.
Oh, okay, yeah, my bad.
Yes,
Common
Minnesota
misconception.
is shitty American version of, Canada. But actually, no, let's rephrase that. Canada is basically if the Midwest was a country. Because every time we talk to people in Canada, they always remind me of people from the Midwest.
Fair, that's fair.
Yeah, because a lot of like the Canadians with their boots and everything, that's like, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota, and some parts of
Minnesota.
Wisconsin. Yeah.
Hey, bud.
We go to Sheboygan. Go out there by Sheboygan there. Now, don't you know?
Oh, fuck yeah, bud.
Gotta go to the Yoopers, too. You got the Yoopers up there, with them Badgers and the Wolverines. They attack your dog. It's not nice.
Yeah, you just end up sounding like an extra from like an 80s CBC show.
Exactly. That's what it is.
Fucking extra on the Littlest Hobo. That's just Minnesota.
Minnesota is a weird state, man. It's so funny. It's like
That's where I'm sending extra.
Yeah.
That's his exile area.
My exile, yes, I made it where it's cold when I'm trying to get out of like the
He's like, oh, it's too cold in Washington, for winters. It's like, nah, we're sending you to Minnesota, boy.
Oh, man, oh, man. All right, well.
Washington State legend, Extra Zero.
The man from every state in the United States, Extra Zero.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he spends like a day each year in each state so he can claim he's from every state.
He's like Paul Bunyan.
You know what's crazy? The only states I haven't been to, legit, are California, Oregon, Hawaii, and Alaska. I think are the only states I haven't been to.
That's ironic because 2 of those states I have been to. But not Oregon and Alaska.
Actually, Extra Zero lives in the U.S. Virgin Islands. I'm doxing him right now.
Yeah, that's where he
Actually,
hides all the money.
He's avoiding the U.S. government.
There's
from
2 more. I've never been to
taxation.
Wyoming or North Dakota, but I've been to South Dakota.
I've been to Wyoming. It's a beautiful state.
Yeah.
A lot of bears.
Which Dakota is the fun Dakota?
The one that has the more casinos with the more Indians.
Oh yeah, casinos. Yeah.
Yeah, the casino Indians, not the IT Indians.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, the metal snake
Chief
come through the
Longfeather.
land. They bring fire water.
Through the land. Fire water.
Fire water come from Iron Snake.
White man bring disease.
My wife's name is
Turtle
called
Island.
River with mouth that babbles.
Menstruating eagle is the name of our next chief.
I watched no joke. There was like a giant documentary by Burns, I think his name. I forget what his whole name is. He's like a big famous documentary person.
George
And-
Burns?
What?
No,
what?
not George Burns. I know who you're
Ken
talking
Burns?
about.
Ken Burns. Yes, Ken Burns. And I
I like George Burns better.
But Ken Burns did a whole like series about the West, and I used to put it on to fall asleep, and they had like this like hey thing talking about like Native Americans, and I shit you not, like it would play like every 5 minutes in this documentary to the point where I was having like weird ass like spirit quest dreams.
Vision Quest
Yeah.
dreams.
Because I would fall asleep listening to this, and I'm just like suddenly dreaming that like I'm in like a mountain looking at eagles. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me right now?
It's like Far Cry 5 when you take the bliss. You just have
Exactly.
weird fucking dreams, visions of Mormons and Native Americans.
All right. So I think we should end this here right now. All right, fellas.
Yeah.
It was very fun. Looking forward to next time. If you guys ever want to come back and at the end of April, let me know. But with that being said, everyone, you have yourself a great week, and we'll be back on Friday with the third Gronkin boy, Mr. John O'Connors.
The trans member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it diverse in this group.
Trans Mazza.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, everyone, have a good night. We'll see y'all later. Hasta luego.